Man.
Hey.
Ain't it? This is a groove right here. This is a vibe, man.
Hey. You know why, right?
Why is that?
Because we're in the groove galaxy, baby.
We're in the groove galaxy. Yeah, man.
You know, stars tonight.
Intergalactic Airlines, man.
Yeah,
you know
man.
how we do. This is
exactly.
Oh man.
It's just it's beautiful out here.
Let's
check
with
out
Wallace.
Even though this week sucks.
Yeah, this week has been trash, man. But you know what? This is the moment where we always hit the light at the end of the tunnel, baby.
Yes, man. That's what we headed towards.
You already know, man.
Already, man.
Hey, Wallace, you got us linked up, man. Are we ready to broadcast?
Yeah.
We ready to turn this video feed on, man?
I think we good.
Wallace over there acting a fool on them ones and twos tonight.
I know. He's just spinning it up.
Right. Let's get in here then. Wallace, going on and cue us up, man. Yeah, what up, y'all?
Yeah. What's good?
What up? What's
How
good?
How are we doing tonight?
Man.
After Darkians.
For real.
You are all now after Darkians.
Yes.
Until we come up with a better name, then you'll be that.
Mm-hmm.
You know how that goes.
You know how
you gotta cycle it every few months. People get tired of getting called, broke Vengers, and so now there are other names.
Yeah.
What do we call them now? I was gonna go with the Smart Vengers, but then I seen a couple other different names pop up. So I was like, okay, I don't know.
Yeah.
I want to be the dead of nerdically correct as possible.
Oh man, look.
Throw that in the book.
I did it.
Gotta be dead of nerdically
I'm with that.
Correct.
Man.
Yes. Or Josh or Lucasly correct.
Lucasly correct. I'm with it. I'm with it.
I like to speak loosely with my peoples.
Yeah. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Speaking of the peoples, man, who we got with us tonight?
Let's see who we got up in here tonight
with us.
I wonder who top billing is, because it's usually Lord Vito, but no. This week, we got the main JT coming in with the top bills. What's up, JT?
JT was goody.
Close second though. We got Lord Vito.
Vito, what's popping, man? Appreciate you. Yep.
What's up, guys? All right, so we got Mike Hawes. Of course, we got Mike Mother Flippin' Porter.
Mother Flippin' Porter, Sir Glass Half Full himself. What's good, my guy?
Half full. Nice to see you. We're going to have a family guy tonight because apparently Peter Griffith is with us.
Well,
here in the chat. What's up, Peter?
Well, apparently the bird is the word.
Followed by Tim Turner.
Oh.
I don't know what kind of night we're going to have tonight. It sounds like it's going to be
seeming
fun.
like it's going to be interesting, man.
Oh, yeah. We got Senator Binks. Travis Adams. The main Mark Hamilton. What's good?
Yeah, and Mark was good. Mark?
We have a little bit of a new player, it seems, but isn't that it's the moderator?
The moderator. Shout out to the moderator.
The moderator. It looks a lot like Ryan, but I don't know. Like it's Ryan, but something about that seems differently. I know. And he's got the classy look to him. Shout out to the main Ryan there. You got XR Coon, Darth Clean, Dylan, Park Outdoors. What's good? Got Keaton Haas, Callisto Arcus. We see you. Jason Crohan, Alex B, Ronan Flynn.
Hey.
Like his name. LeGoat Breezy.
Hey, Breezy.
That was good.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Got Luke Skywalker.
Luke, man, what's good? Glad you're back, baby. Glad you're
Bruce
back.
All Malty. Makes me want to go get one of them, the thickest shake that I can find and just look at it. All right. You can't drink it.
Yeah.
Got Michael Odin. Darth Kenobi THG. What's good?
What's good, y'all?
The moderator's already putting me on notice, talking about I'm watching you, Lavis. Okay, watch and learn, baby.
Hey, man.
Might come out with a little bit of swag at the end of this tunnel.
Look at that.
Just a little bit.
We try to drop off a little bit of that for the peoples every week.
Right. Just a little bit.
You know.
Big 'em up. What's up, Captain Rex Skywalker? Say that one. Captain Rex Skywalker.
Oh, man. Captain Rex Skywalker. Boy. He got the whole spectrum covered, don't he? I like that.
I know.
I like that.
Got consonants and vowels too.
Yeah, man.
Shoot, we already got a super two-way from SFC Pruitt 101 for $4.99. Thank you very much.
Appreciate you.
They like turtles.
Hey, I like turtles too, man. I wouldn't want one as a pet, but
right.
turtles move just my speed, man.
Right. All right, so we ready to get into some of this tonight. Let's
see some,
man.
Well, first of all, man, you gotta hold on, man, because you ain't give a shout out to. I know we trying to figure out a reclassification, but as far as I'm concerned, y'all still broke vengeance right now, and we love you just the same. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to the broke vengers. Vic, what's happening?
Well,
Ty, what's happening?
What you call them? Frugal ventures.
Hey, look, see, we was just look behind the curtain, y'all. Literally, right before we went live, we was playing around with names, and nothing was sticking. We go live, and this man dropped Frugal Vengers, and I'm like, done. That's just the way it go, man. Frugal Vengers is it. Right. Frugal Vengers, what's up? So what's up, Vic? What's up, Ty? And before we get cracking, a very special what's up to one of the coolest Frugal Vengers out there, Mary. Mary's so dope, bro. Mary said, she don't even she's not a Marvel fan. She's not a DC fan. Not even a Star Wars fan. But she down with After Dark.
Hey,
that's what's up.
That's what's up. You know what?
So happy birthday to Mary. Happy birthday indeed. For real. Yes. Do it big. Have one for your boy. That's what's up.
Right. Should have one for me too.
But yeah, man, speaking of doing it big, look, this always happens too, right? We had the whole show lined up, planned, ready to go.
Yeah.
And then what happened last night?
They dropping bombs.
Coming in. Now, before we get into it, we'll run through some quick little, standards and practices was on our tails. Notice we said the word tails. And so we want to run through we want to run through a couple of shout notes for once in a change. You know what I'm saying? So like tonight, I think what we got to talk about the Warner Brothers stuff, right? We definitely got to do that. And then we got to get into some DC news. I think you was able to find some DC news. Is that right?
Well, yeah, that's pretty much that's what they're doing with the streaming. Like that's we'll get into that.
We're going to get into that. And then, some news on the MCU front, because you can't have DC news and not sprinkle a little Marvel in there, a little MCU in it.
Right.
So we do have some updates on in the world of Hawkeye. Some interesting stuff going down with Hawkeye. We'll touch on that a little bit. And then we know what y'all here for. So just stick with us, and we going to get into that Mando talk, man. You already know what it is. It's going down again tonight. What do they have in store for us, my man? We going to get all into it. It's been I've been waiting a whole week for After Dark so I could get into episode 5.
I know. I know.
Cannot wait, bro.
Yeah, I don't think you can because like you was already. You had me looking up some stuff.
I'm telling you, man. I was geeking.
I got to get into it because you was completely geeking.
I was geeking, man.
I had to try to match Josh level type responses. Okay, y'all watch Josh in the morning and y'all see how easily he just be kicking that off. But I'm like a normie going into the whatever side of this. And he was dropping some stuff on me. And I was like, hold up now. I got to know what I'm about to respond with before, because I didn't know which way he was going. Y'all be able to keep up with him.
Yeah.
Y'all totally be able to. I'm getting there.
No doubt.
See the super two-way from Mike Hawes with the $5. Appreciate you, man.
Perfect timing too, by the way.
He said, talking bombs, Warner Brothers just bombed the theaters. Yep. Bye, baby, and thank you, HBO Max. Yep.
Hey, Mike seemed like he low-key trying to apply for a segue position with After Dark, because I swear you came right on time with that one, Playboy.
That's what it is.
So let's talk about it, man. Warner Brothers, what's good? What they talking about, man? Let the people know.
So pretty much that they're talking about they're going to be dropping all their movies on streaming and in theaters.
Yeah.
And then after 1 month, they're going to stop the streaming and continue to play in the theaters. But I mean, the fact that they embraced just that right there, embrace the streaming aspect of it to that kind of level.
Right.
It puts all those kinds of questions that we've usually asked to sleep when it comes to at least Warner Brothers and DC. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to be dropping Wonder Woman here soon on 1984 on HBO Max here in December. So they're going to be doing it. So after a while, it's not gonna be speculation no more.
No,
What's
man.
popping over at Warner Brothers in DC. So, like, how's that gonna go? How you feel about that? How you feel about a streaming service with such a large platform behind it?
Man,
You know,
it's
and their movies.
right. I think this is exactly what we kind of figured was coming, right? I mean, when you see what happened with Tenet, when you look at what happened with Mulan, these movies, these studios, man, it's about the money, and they've got to try to maximize. They've got to try to keep those funds coming in, and it's just, with everything still being up in the air, 2020 is coming to an end, but there's gonna be some unresolved issues going into 2021.
Yeah.
So we got to make sure everybody's right and ready to get into the theaters. But in the meantime, I mean, I think this is kind of a blessing in disguise for these studios, because this is where entertainment was transitioning to anyway, in my opinion. Like,
Right.
the movie experience is dope, and I still think there's a place for it, but we're in a time now where people want their entertainment and they want it on their terms. Like, some people aren't trying to go to the movie theater and go see a movie in that way. They want to experience it at home. People aren't spending, tens of thousands of dollars on an 8K TV for nothing, to watch.
Right, for real.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
this is. I don't even think about it.
Oh, no question. Especially now with this news, right? Because you think about it, and it's like, now you'll have the ability to decide if I want to go, to the theater and really experience it this way, or do I want to have a more intimate experience in my home where I can kind of kick back and really take in. Because that's the other thing too, is like with this streaming thing, like, I would assume, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm going to have the ability to pause and go back. So imagine that now. You're able to, like,
that's the game.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, imagine like you watching Endgame, for example, when Endgame dropped, and you can actually pause it on your left and like really look at or go back and break down all of the cameos that you saw when all of those people rolled out. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is gonna take it to a whole new level for nerds like us, man, because
I think so.
we gonna be dissecting the hell out of these movies now, man.
Oh yeah. But see, what about like the pirates? Like, what do you think that they're gonna do to try to keep those types of people from being able to straight up record it? And when they stop the streaming, because to me the idea is you stop the streaming after a month, and then you let the movie play out, and then of course you go through the regular of dropping it back on Blu-ray and all the other streaming sites, blah 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 blah.
Right.
Get your money out of it that way. So I mean, somehow someone always manages to get at least a decent copy of one of these movies. You know what I'm saying? So and then they're able to find it afterwards. But with it coming out like that, so many people can do so many different things.
Right.
I'm not going to try to give none of you nerd vendors out there any ideas. They'll be looking at me for that. Like, so what do you think they're going to try to do in order to correct that? You have any ideas?
If history has told us anything, you cannot stop bootleggers. Bootleggers are going to find a way. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's not so much how do they stop it, but how do you curve it? And I have to imagine that there are going to be some types of safeguards put in place, new like encryption things and things like that, to where they can try to detect if somebody is, copyright or trying to download or duplicate copyrighted material. And then the flip side of that too, though, is I think you're going to start seeing them really drop the hammer on anybody that they catch that is redistributing this copyrighted material, because that's the thing, right? It's like people are going to do it, but the question is, how do you stop it from circulating? And I think where we are now is there's only so much that you can do in terms of trying to prevent somebody from copyrighting or bootlegging your stuff. So then it just becomes, well, how do we enforce or how do we crack down and decentivize people from doing that? You know what I'm saying? Put that one in there too. We're gonna put that in there. There too.
We're gonna totally throw that.
We're gonna totally put that in there. But that's where I see it is like, it's not so much gonna be them trying to stop people from doing it, but more stop like the distribution and like the sharing of it. Which again, I just don't think we're gonna be able to stomp all of that out. But we'll have to see how that works.
Right. Okay. So I got another question for you.
Mm-hmm.
So they said, given the unprecedented time that they're in is the reason why, that we're in is the reason why they need to come with a creative solution to address our fans and filmmakers and our exhibitors. That's and Sarnoff said. Okay, she's the chief executive of Warner Media Studios.
Yeah.
But she also calls it a temporary solution. It's like a 1-year plan. They're only planning on doing that for 2021. Do you think that that's something that maybe other studios would probably adopt and just maybe do that for the year? Or do you think that's something that if it tests good for the year, they'll keep that going, like period?
Yeah. Now I wasn't ignoring you. I was looking at the chat and the two-way peoples as you were speaking, because we both know that's some hot garbage. Come on, man. Like, let's be real, man. Let's be real.
Right.
If this generates the kind of revenue that even allows them to recuperate, at I wouldn't even say a majority, a marginal percentage of what they were losing out of it with these theaters being flat out closed, this is not going to go anywhere, man. This is going to be the mainstay. And I tell you what will be the telltale sign of that, and what I think we'll find out probably as soon as the turn of the year, is when other studios start jumping on board with the same approach.
Right.
Because if Warner Brothers is doing it, but then let's say Sony or Disney doesn't follow suit in that way, then okay, maybe this is like Warner Brothers' temporary solution. But if Disney comes out and starts saying that they're gonna do the same thing, it's a wrap, bro. Like, it's a wrap. You can forget it. It's not going to.
I feel like they will. I feel like that's something they're probably going to wind up doing too, because and maybe not at first, but they're not going to go the entire year probably watching Warner Brothers drop all their stuff and raking whatever extra money they're making and not want a piece of that.
Well, see, that's the thing, and this is why
that's one angle.
But this is why Disney is so smart, like, in my opinion, right? Because I think this was calculated. I think Disney put the carrot out there for another studio to take, and Warner Brothers bit, because what did Disney do what was that, in September, when they announced that entire restructure and refocus on how they were going to distribute their content and focusing more on streaming? They didn't outright say they were going to, officially start dropping movies simultaneously online. But what they did was they dangled that carrot out there to let other studios know, because what's the one thing that people are going to, like, Disney haters or capitalism haters are going to say when we start finding out more about this in terms of price and everything else? There's going to be pushback, because people are going to be like, oh, well, I'm not paying. Like, let's say they do the Mulan thing and they say, hey, $39.99 for these, blockbuster releases like The Matrix or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know about all that.
I'm just saying, like,
especially something that I'm only going to have for the month.
Well, but again, you're paying in my opinion, it's not that you're paying for it to own it early. You're paying a premium for the ability and the convenience of being able to experience it in your own home. And that's what they're going to try to pitch it as. So $40 might be on the steep side, but I'm just saying, like, imagine even if it's $20, like, people are going to want to be like, well, people are going to want to make the decision, well, why am I going to spend $20 to see something at home when I can go experience it in the movies for the same price? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's going to be people saying that.
It's going to be competitive. They're going to have to really think about that, though. You know what I'm saying? If it's cheaper for me to actually go to the movie, and that's, again, what kind of angle are we trying to push here? Are we actually trying to push for people to go to the movies so we make the streaming prices unsightly, therefore they want to go to the movie and watch it? Or do we compete with the movies?
See, now you on my vibe, man, because that was the
right.
question I was about to hit you.
I'm always on your I'm always on your vibe.
This is what I was trying to bring it to. What I think, and this is going to be what we find out. That's what I'm saying. This is what's going to happen, in my opinion. Is they're going to test it, and they're going to see how much people are willing to pay to watch the movie at home, and it's all going to be about the mathematics, man. Because it's like, if I can get $40, $30, $20 a pop for you to watch this movie, at home or what have you, and I'm still getting movie theater money. Come on, man. Like, that's a win-win.
Yeah.
And if you look at it, and the thing about it is, the thing that I think, is the big part of this is, when you stream it, you know what you're not having to do with that? Split any of that money with anybody else.
Yeah, especially if it's on your own platform.
Because movie theaters, you don't have to give movie theaters any cut of that. I'm now again saying if the movie's not, if they transition to ultimately just not showing these movies in theaters, or even showing them less,
right,
that means that the theaters are taking a less of a cut out of the profits you make off of that movie. You know what I'm saying? And so trust me, I believe that they are looking at this and using this as an opportunity to gauge. And Disney, and the reason I said Disney's so smart is because Disney was smart enough not to be the first ones out the gate to say it, because of, and it's all about, it's all about public perception.
I get that, but I mean, at the same time, I still see this, and I call it what you will, a struggle, if you want to call it, them trying to get ahead of the game curve, whatever. But I see Warner Brothers, it says AT&T has acquired them, has been trying to be out the gate, doing different things, or at least doing the things that eventually Feige was going to do this, or Disney, whoever you want to try to say was going to do it. Right. You know it's coming eventually. So I just see them trying to be the first ones out the gate to break in those testers, those test investors, and get that early money. Because you believe it or not, a lot of people with something new and something to do, especially in the times that we're in, $65.99 like a UFC fight. I seen who said that here in the two-way. You know what? That sounds unsightly to us and the frugal vendors, but to the other people who are bored, thank you, Travis Adams. Oh man, they're gonna pay that.
Well, they're totally gonna pay that. Peep this, and this is gonna link into something we might touch on when we get to conversation and libation. But there are people, you know, that just dropped $49.99 to watch two mid-50-year-olds box.
This is true.
You know what I'm saying? So do not underestimate what people are willing to pay to be entertained at home, because that was a $50 fight. And I didn't go back. I didn't look at the numbers to see how well it did in terms of pay-per-view buys, but just the social media stir that you got as a result of that fight card, bro, like there is money to be made, and it is much more money to be made. I mean, think about it like this. So think about it where, imagine if Disney or Warner Brothers gets really smart and starts offering, and I think Disney already has this, like some type of a crowd play, or where you can still do like a community watch, and you do it through their streaming platform. And you really,
you mean like allow people?
Yeah, like where it's like you say we get it, like we could get together with all of the Nerd Avengers, you know, and all of us are literally on a Disney server watching that premiere together from home.
Gotcha.
But we're all interacting in that same way. You throw in little tidbits, or you could even do something like exclusive merchandise that they could sell for people that are doing it strictly for that watch party. Like you get exclusive access to this merch or something like that. I got you. Like from the social media integration aspect of it, like this is brilliant. This is brilliant.
Yeah. To me,
go anywhere.
Yeah, no, I don't think so either. Yeah, especially when you put that in there. To be honest, I hadn't even think about that. Including in the price. I mean, to me, including in the price. If I'm gonna pay, it should be like bundled. Okay, right. So I should be expecting the DVD when y'all planning, or Blu-ray, whatever. When y'all planning on dropping that, I should get some merch. Yeah, you know, for something like that.
That's what I'm saying.
I totally wouldn't mind paying.
And then if you looking at the two-way, I think somebody might be on the same vibe with me on this one too. And then let's say you partner it up with some of these delivery services, and it's like, oh, get your pizza or whatever through with 10% off if you get the promo code for watching Matrix 4. Right. You know what I'm saying? Get your Matrix bundle Hey, you know, I give away free ideas all.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I'm over here thinking like, you know what? Shoot.
Game is to be sold. You right. Let me. But you get where I'm coming from, though. You see the opportunity to turn this into a lucrative venture for all parties involved. You know what I'm saying? So
so the other guys out there just heard you. It was like
they writing down notes, man. That's what they writing down notes. I think
you're writing it down.
Let me check the view count. Did we just get like a whole bunch of people in here now trying to take notes? Yeah, we up there,
I wouldn't
bro.
be surprised if it actually dropped, because it was like, we gotta go do that now.
We going to do that right now. Hurry up,
right now. Hey, rewind that.
Get Robert on the line.
Rewind that.
Get Robert on the line.
Get him on the line
right now. But that's what I'm saying, man. It's just, that's the way I see it. And it's just, you know, the question that I have though is, you know, from that respect, how soon, because I think we already have said everybody else is going to jump on board. How soon before we get like Disney, or Sony saying the same stuff?
Disney or Sony saying the same stuff. Sony, I hate to say this, I don't know. I guess when you say Sony, at least DC is not that bad. So I'm not even going to include them in that answer. However, period. I would probably say no later than around February, March.
Right, exactly.
Everything seems to want to start in March. March is like, it's got the name for it. Just
That's
period. Everything just starts marching on out. So, about March.
About March, right?
No later than. Yeah, no later than.
I feel
as early as January, no later than March.
Yeah, man.
For sure.
Well, look, let's check this two-way out before we switch gears real quick and see.
Yeah.
Let us know in the two-way, man. If you down to see movies at home and experience them, let me get the Iron Man emoji. But if you trying to see, if you still want to be traditional and go out, then let me get the Iron Nerd, the Iron Man emoji. Let's get that one.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get that one. So
let's see them. Let's see
home watchers, Iron Man. Theater
bet.
watchers, Iron Man. Let's see what you got.
Now, one Iron Nerd, two Iron Nerd.
Oh, look,
how you get? They start
somebody mix whiskey together.
I can't tell if that's his answer or if he's been
drinking.
What
I'm saying?
I seen him earlier. Say he got that drink.
Yeah, man.
Let's see some whiskey glasses in there. If y'all just gonna watch it regardless.
Right there, you go. But yeah, it looks pretty.
I don't care.
It looks pretty mixed, man. Like it looks like it's a mixed answer, which is what I would expect. Exactly, beautiful world. Very but that's exactly what I would expect. You know what I'm saying? Because there are some people who actually have been waiting for this. You know what I'm saying? Like there's people that haven't been trying to do the movie thing for who knows how long, and so this is kind of like right up their alley. You know, me, to be honest. The way I look at it, man, is this is going to give me the freedom as a consumer to pick and choose when I want to go have that in-theater experience, because and not have to feel like I'm being slighted if I decide I don't. Because that's the thing, right? Part of the enticement of going to the theater is you don't want to be the one missing out on the cooler talk the next morning. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's totally the thing.
You don't want to be
the one watching it right then. You're like, yo, I'm watching it right now.
I'm watching it right now. You know what I'm saying? And like, that's the thing. So now being able to have that choice and that option, that's incredible to me. And it's funny, but if you think about this, right? And here's the other thing too with it. It reminds me a lot of the video game industry. Like as we transitioned into the 90s and from arcades to home consoles, because one of the things that you could do with home consoles is you could give and offer a deeper experience. Because you weren't just trying to captivate somebody for their 25 or 50 cents.
Right.
You actually could get somebody to pay, you know, where I was dropping, let's say, $15 playing Street Fighter at the arcade. Now I'm dropping $50 to play Street Fighter at home, but feeling like I'd rather do that. You know what I'm saying? So we have already been kind of programmed to make that adjustment and I think us as creatures, look what happened to arcades, man. Like they just couldn't hang anymore because games
sucks.
Oh, dude, that's the worst. Like for you young heads that don't know nothing about arcades, man, y'all missed it.
They're like, what's arcade?
Right.
Arcade. You can't even say it.
That's it, man. That arcade.
Arcane.
What y'all
they
know
are
about
now?
What they know about doing this right here? Right here. I got next. Put my quarter right there.
Hey, you know what? I was actually really, that's what sucks for me. I was really great on arcade games, and I was always playing that Marvel superhero versus Capcom.
You was that dude. You was that dude.
Hey, I was that dude. I had people in there paying my way to play the damn game because I was
that's what's up
on them, dude.
Now, see, I'm gonna drop
$4 and play 50.
I'm gonna drop the game name, and Vito, you just shut the hell up and don't say nothing. But that was me. That was me and Tekken back in the day. Like they could not get me off the sticks on Tekken, man. It didn't matter what was going on. I'm an old grizzled vet now though. My reflexes aren't the same as what they used to be, grizzled. Man. I'm grizzled.
That's the word.
I'm grizzled, man. It's been
we're slowly making our way to grizzled.
Grizzled, man.
Nothing. We still got a little.
I'm trying to quarter circle forward, and my thumb got stuck. I was like, "Oh man, wait a minute! I can't be doing this with arthritis."
Charlie Horse,
right? Got to make sure I'm hydrated if I'm finna do a gaming run, man.
Right. That's deep.
Look, that's crazy. Now I'm thinking about it. Hey, at least I didn't go out looking like Nate. At least I didn't get out there looking like Nate. I got beat, but I got some licks in. I wasn't no Nate Robinson out there.
Oh man, yeah, he ain't gonna live that down.
Never
at all.
Never
not going.
But
that's not going nowhere.
Speaking of looking bad and getting beat, man.
Yeah,
we got some footage, some footage of a certain somebody looking like they had a rough day, huh?
Most definitely. Why don't you
want me to go cue that up? I'm gonna. Oh no! See, we're not going. I know where you think we going. No, I'm talking about your man.
I know where we're.
Oh, you just laughing?
I know what we're talking about. It's still funny.
Yeah,
I'm laughing because it's still funny.
Yeah.
So
precious Lord.
Hey, oh Lord.
Look, we gonna have to get into that in conversational libation. We are going to have to do it. But yeah, man. Wallace, why don't you do me a favor, Wallace? Cue up that Honey, I Shrunk the Nervengers text so we can show these people what's good on this show these people what's good on this stuff we found online, man. Like stop playing. Let's get it right. There we go. So yay, there we go. Honey, I Shrunk the Nervengers. So we get the screen up to start showing some of this Hawkeye footage. Now I don't know why they got this. I guess they focusing on the dog on this one, but there we go.
Yeah, because everybody's liking the what's his name? Lucky.
Lucky? I got you. Dog. Everybody love dogs, man. Everybody, you gotta love dogs. Who don't love dogs?
So like, and see, everybody thinks because I be defending Hawkeye, I'm like a huge shill for Hawkeye. I'm not. I really don't know too much anything about the solo on Hawkeye, so I'm actually kind of excited to watch it because I think he actually is a very underrated character. That was most of my iterations that I know of him, he's always with the Avengers. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of those times I'm seeing he's one of the Avengers that everybody completely counts out, like y'all be doing, and he'd be the first one to pull everybody out of trouble.
Yeah.
So, and that's what kind of got my attention. So now that I'm seeing he's actually getting like a TV show.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of excited to see that, even though it seems like it's more or less a show that is just focused on the Hawkeye character, meaning it doesn't matter if it's the original Hawkeye, Jeremy Renner, Clint Barton, or if it's going to be the new one, Kate Bishop.
Right.
So
exactly.
But I'm still happy to see that they're starting to give him some due.
Right. No, I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that, man. And to me, I think it's interesting that we started to get the footage because, you know, I'm one of those people. I ain't gonna lie. I'm like, you know, nobody care about Hawkeye, man. Like, come on, man. But I'm starting to wonder, man. This is one of them shows that like Feige could slip in on us and really drop some nuggets, and we be like, man, we missed that one. Like, I gotta go back and watch that now. Like, I thought I wasn't seeing nothing with Hawkeye. Now they done hit us with this. Like,
right, but it sounds like they're already doing that.
Yeah,
because they've already teased that we're gonna see Yelena Belova played by Florence Pugh in this. And I guess the biggest thing that makes people wonder why and what about that is because still ain't nobody seen Black Widow. So it's like,
right, what's going on?
What gives? What's happening here?
I think we will find out soon enough, man. But I'm looking and I'm like, you know, they always drop, you know, this footage like this, and you get these little shots from filming and on the set and everything. And it's like it's always interesting to look at this stuff with no context and then see when you see it in the show or in the movie, and half the time it really don't amount to much of nothing. But I mean, it's dope to see kind of the interaction between, you know, the two of them and things like that. Like you're starting to see the kind of the first flashes of the chemistry and whatnot. So I think that's interesting that they, you know, we're starting to get a scene of that. I'm wondering what's going on with my man Clint though. Clint looking like he might have taken a right hand or something. Somebody might have thunder chopped him or something. He got a little bruise.
I know. Yeah, he needs to go home and work on that. That's probably where they're headed to. So I'm wondering what happened.
Right.
To bring them down there. Plus they got the dog with them. So it's like, how real did that get with the dog still on the leash?
Right.
Y'all running the subway.
Yeah.
Like what's popping right now?
Yeah.
At least
know, man.
Yeah, but at least we're starting to see some stuff rolling out in Disney. Like, you know, things are starting to fire on all cylinders. A little easier for them, you know, because this was one of the shows that back when things started to pop off, that they were like, hey, indefinitely Hawkeye might be a little setback, might not happen.
Yeah.
And now here it is. It's one of the few shows that we're getting some solid clad info on. So we got them down here in the subway. There's another one of them walking up. It looks like they're down there by the ferry.
Yeah.
With the dogs. It's like the beginning part of this scene. So they're getting there.
Yeah, they definitely getting there, man. I'm looking at this two-way, man. I had to take a chuckle because I saw Godfather said Alan Lavis are a couple of Hawkeye normies. I don't have any problem admitting that, man. I'm not as keen on my Hawkeye lore as I probably will be once the show drop. But let's just tell the people the truth, man. Godfather bullied us into talking about Hawkeye. That's all that was. He just came in and gave us that pasty Suge Knight treatment and was like, yeah, y'all talking about Hawkeye tonight or else it's gonna be some problems.
While eating a lollipop too.
Right. Like it was so weird. Like I was so confused. But I was afraid to say no. So there you go. Obligatory Hawkeye information. Like courtesy of X-Rail Matthews. I shout him out since we on his feed checking out what he posted, man. But like
and I think we missed a couple 2As actually. I see we got Dan the Man here.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you take that one because that one might need a little bit of a harmonization with that.
Yeah. I'm trying to read it with the color it came in. It said my mind's going half crazy.
Because Mando isn't on.
Yeah.
Oh, Music Soul Child.
Is it worth you holding on, man? Hey,
come on, man. It's always worth it with Mando, Dan. Mando makes it worth it, man. Come on. Did you not see episode 5, bro?
Right.
Did you not see that? Speaking of, time out. Pause. We was talking about the other day that we about due for another guest. What's up, Dan? You talking about coming on After Dark with your boys?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
What's good?
I'm sure Dan can give, because I want to hear something about this fanfic he's making, man. I want to know something about that. I'd love to get some of his opinions on some of this Mando stuff and how it might start connecting back to the legend stuff and all that expanded universe type. So what's happening, man?
Right. I like to hear what he's got. What's up, man? Throw it up in the 2-way, y'all. If y'all want to see Dan the Main come up on After Dark, let's see some of them blue lightsabers. Drop some of them blue lightsabers, man.
That's what's up.
And in the meantime, I see OG Fan came in with the $5. Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "What's up, man? Please consider this my first Boba Fett rebuttal against Lord Vito." And I love the show. We appreciate that, man.
The first of many, because he be on that Boba hate. That boy be on it, man. He be on it.
Yeah. And I think I saw one earlier from Lord Vito. I believe it was $5. And I remember it being a shout out. The ham and cheese. It says someone's birthday. Happy birthday. Shout out to pop the name back in. I'm trying to find it, but unfortunately I don't have the Lucas powers to go and pull that up.
Oh, it's all good. Yeah, man. So, we apologize about that, but we appreciate you with them soups.
We appreciate it. Oh, see Rello 2X with the nice little sword there. Or is that the that's dope. I like that.
That's what's up.
Good deal.
That's what's up.
But yeah, I'm excited. I'm actually kind of excited for Hawkeye. So to keep it still Marvel at least for a moment.
Yeah, let's
keep everybody hanging on for a moment.
It's coming. It's coming. We promise it's coming.
But so they're doing the Hawkeye, and then apparently there's been some stuff already dropped for Miss Marvel. Now we could say Warner Brothers probably pushing them to want to maybe drop Black Widow. Yeah. At least in the movies. You know what I'm saying? They can still compete with them there. You know what I'm saying? So, because they're going to do both, even if they don't do the streaming. So hopefully we'll be able to see that soon. Like, where do you think that's going to lead to? Do you think it's going to be able to have a healthy like a spark between DC and the Marvel again, or do you think we're still going to be like Feige's king and lord and blah blah blah? You think they have a chance to possibly collide this?
I don't. This is to me, man. You know how I am about my analogies. This is like WCW versus WWE back in the 90s, man. Like,
right.
DC might be able to brag about having a few months or a couple of quarters where they was outdoing Marvel, but man, I don't know, bro. Like, I think Feige is over there on his Vince McMahon right now, just like you know what, y'all can have a little bit of shine until we decide to drop this heat, man. Because like that's the thing is like Marvel content is like this tidal wave that you see on the horizon, and you know, like nobody's gonna be safe, like nobody gonna be safe. And we talked about this earlier this week is with DC until we started getting this until they hit us with this Warner Brother news, it had been relatively quiet since Fandom. Like Fandom came out, blew everybody's minds, had everybody on the DC is back. You know, shout out to the homie Josh. He was even like, we're a DC channel now. That lasted for about 2.5 seconds. You know,
Batman's great.
Right. And then all of a sudden it was like nobody saw Star Wars and Mando coming. And then MCU, we all know what's up with that. So it's just like, I don't know, man. I feel like DC is in the right direction, but they still got a ways to go before I can say they're gonna leapfrog Feige in that MCU, man.
I'm just saying, I'm willing to give them the shot and say, that they have the opportunity. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hey, everybody deserves a shot, right, Nate? Right. I'm gonna leave him alone.
What kind of shot are we talking about?
You know what I'm saying? Look, right. Everybody deserves a shot. We don't know what kind of shot. Yeah. He probably had to get a couple shots after that, boy.
Sometimes life throws you lemons, boy.
They just sour as hell.
All of that.
But yeah, man. Speaking of real quick, I do want to hit up or recognize Jedi Velez. I was able to dig through the two-way archives and find your super two-way. Appreciate that. $5. Nice. Hey, Alan Lavas, what's your favorite Tekken? And go to character. My fave is Tekken 4 and Steve Fox or Eddie. I would have to say my favorite Tekken is Tekken 3. My favorite character is Paul Phoenix. And it's crazy because Tekken 3, I sucked with Paul. Like I was not good with Paul as a character. I will admit, I was one of those button mashing Eddie lovers. That was my first real dive into Tekken period. And I was like, so I can just keep hitting these kick buttons and do breakdance all over the screen? Let's go. And then I finally like got up against some guys that knew what they was doing. And I got mopped up a little bit. And I was like, you know what, man, let me learn this game. And like, not to go on a tangent, but Tekken is a fighting game for me that like, if you have the time and the interest, it is so deep and it is so, you can get so intricate with your gameplay with Tekken that's what hooked me. And then like Tekken Tag is probably my second favorite. And then, but I feel you on Tekken 4 because Tekken 4 for me was like the game changer. Like Tekken 4 was when the graphics kind of jumped up. They started really like the animations were more fluid. It was real dope. They had like
a single player mode, kind of like a story. Whatever they started doing that.
They started doing the Tekken the story mode. It was like more
3D, it was instead of it being like a fight straight through, like the old where it was like a whole
whole kind of story. Then they had the Tekken Force mode. I remember that where it was like you just fought waves of robots or whatever going through. I was like that was dope too, man. So yeah, shout out to Tekken, man. And Jedi Lorian Velez for that super two-way.
Right, yeah. I have to agree with you on the Tekken 3. My favorite one, same one, the Tekken 4. That's why I was smiling all big when you first said it. But my favorite character is between Howrang and is it Law? Not Law. My man I always call, he looked like Jackie Chan.
Oh, Lei Wulong.
Lei.
The man who should be, if they did a real Tekken Live movie, not that they made, but a real one. Yeah. Jackie Chan should be Lei Wulong, hands down.
Most
hands down.
Hands down. He's totally should be.
I'll give you another fan cast. Vin Diesel as Brian.
I can see that.
Vin Diesel's got to be Brian. Like he's got to be Brian. That he would just have to be for me. But yeah, man. Shout out to the Tekken players out there. Vito, we gonna get that rematch one of these days, man. I just gotta wait because the way my left tendon is set up in my wrist, I gotta make sure that I got all my lag issues taken care of and my reflexes is right. You know, I'm gonna get you though. We gonna make it happen though.
We're gonna make it happen. But if anybody's interested anymore about the Hawkeye and its developments, along with Miss Marvel, Loki, because we keep forgetting about that. They're also doing She-Hulk. We got WandaVision coming in January. I believe that's coming the 15th.
Tidal wave.
And now they finally got someone for Moon Knight. They all have IMDb pages now. They just made one for Hawkeye, for what I know today, because I've been with Hawkeye all day, and it just came up just before I came onto the show. So if you guys are interested in that, just look up their IMDb pages and look at what's going on, man. See, that's what we're here for. Tell you where to go.
That's what's up, man.
So this way,
that's what's up.
We can let Al handle Kendall Davis's $4.99 Super Two-Way, and we can get into some of this Mando talk.
Oh yeah, you know it's coming. I can feel the people's coming. So yeah, shout out to Kendall Davis with the $4.99 Two-Way. Says DC only has Suicide Squad, then Wonder Woman. That's meh. And then the Snyder that many people are questioning why it's being remade. MCU is king. I really can't argue with you on the MCU is king, but I'll push back a little bit on that Snyder cut, man, because
the
Snyder cut, man, like people are hyped for that. Like there was a movement that led to that movie even being made. Like this was not even something that was, I think, seriously even considered, and the power of the fandom made that happen. So I don't want to go so far as to like dismiss DC as if nobody's really trying to rock with them, but it's definitely not on the level of MCU. Like you can't.
It's not as consistent.
It's not even to me a consistency issue though, because what did we do when we were talking about? We was working through show notes and we were talking about BVS and Batman. Like it's flawed, man. I know you're a DC lover, man. I know it.
I mean, no, you know my frustration with that. So
right,
yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Look, make me blow up the ship.
I'm just saying, look, we still kind of early, man. If you want to tell the people what you're feeling about DC and the problems with Batman versus BVS. Yeah, go ahead, man.
So I mean, they started off Man of Steel good, okay, and even though they destroyed half of Metropolis, that was still fine, but when it got into introducing the Batman and the Superman together, they went about it the complete wrong way. There's no way that we should already get a movie with the two of them fighting. I really don't even care if you did destroy half the city. We already know there was a whole nother threat. He was on here for 33 years and didn't cause no problems. I don't see why Batman would automatically just go and look at him as a complete threat. I like the way that they introduced him in World's Finest. And that's an old animated cartoon. Some of y'all might be familiar with that if y'all was rocking with like the Mask of Phantasm and stuff. Y'all might have caught that, especially if you was watching the Batman animated series, and if you was watching the Superman animated series. They did it on the television back in the day. You know, the old square boxes back in our day. And in that story, pretty much how they get introduced is Batman comes in trying to get information about some jade jewel that he knows is practically kryptonite. Superman tries to, because he comes to Metropolis and does this. Superman comes in and he's like, nah, bro, we don't do it like that over here. You can take that back over to Gotham. And Batman checks him, puts him through the wall. Superman checks him back. They test each other a little bit, but Batman busts out that kryptonite and was like, yo, I know about this. I know this is what's going to hurt you. I see what you've been doing. Because everybody forgets, okay? Batman, when he's Batman, keeps an eye on everything, okay? So that means to a low-key note, he might already knew that he was, he knows that he's blended in. He didn't know he was Clark Kent, but he knew he was blended into the society. So he would have already known that Superman was not a threat. He would not look at him like, oh, he's just some alien that came out of the sky. If he was like this, he wouldn't look at him like a threat to go fight him. So he already bust that card out like, yo, I know what your weakness is. Something bigger's going down. He finds out Superman cheats, X-rays him, find out he's Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne tracks him, find out that he's Clark Kent. And then boom, they meld slowly together. And now everybody else knows how Batman Superman is from there. Why the hell they went and decided to have them fight and then make Martha, okay? Martha, I mean, to me, Martha could be either their mother. Their Martha could have been Martha Stewart. Oh, your mom likes to make Martha Stewart cookies too?
Why'd you say that name?
Oh my God.
Why'd you say that name?
Why'd you say, did your mom make you Martha Stewart cookies? She did. Oh, we're best friends now. I won't kill you. Like, come on.
Hey, man. No. Look.
I didn't like that. No, I didn't like that. No, and then Justice League, everything after BVS period is just into the trash for me. Okay, this was Man of Steel, this was BVS, this was Justice League. So yes, we need Snyder Cut. We need things like Flashpoint, and at least let them get their stuff back on track.
I feel you. Like there you go. Sun's getting real low. Now I will correct myself because I said that your assessment that they lacked consistency was not totally wrong.
It's not.
It's not that they, but now wait a minute though. When I think about it, it is consistency. Because they've been consistently bad. It's been consistently bad. Like, come on, man. Like, it's just not been. But my thing is, man, it's like you can't. And I swear I've been doing this all night. I swear it's the theme of the night, y'all. You can't Nate Robinson your way into this, DC. Like, MCU is like Jake Paul. Like, man, look, I've been out here. We've been doing this. We got some experience under our belt. You can't just jump in this ring with us. You're going to end up face first wondering what round it is. Playing with MCU like that. Like, you just...
That's like the worst thing for him, but the best thing that seems to happen.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Everything up.
Like Kevin Feige sitting back like, oh, DC and Warner Brothers finna do a multiverse? Shit. Y'all go ahead. Let's know how they work out. Let us know how they work out. And then we're going to handle this. We're going to show you how it's done for real. People going to be doing the DC multiverse challenge. Like, what is this?
I don't even want. No, I'm not even gonna try to speculate what that would be like. Because the next thing you know, we're gonna be on the news. Yeah, a YouTube show named After Dark started the MCU DC challenge.
Man, don't tie my name to none of that, man. No, I'm good. I'm good. But let's hit these. Let me hit these super two ways I got, man. We got a few lined up. Shout out first to Lando C. My man Lando's in the building with the $5 super two-way. Appreciate that. He said, just wanted to say what's up to all. I'm new to the channel and love the content thus far. Appreciate that. We try to do it for you, the people. Oh yeah. See, look, I'm going back. Dan the man hit us with another one.
For a second, you told me that this is your fault.
No, look, I gave you the floor, man, because you know what's coming.
Shoot.
You know once the Mandos start talking, it's hard to shut me up. It's hard to shut me up. It's already hard to shut me up. So get me to talking about something.
On the Mando talk.
Look. One of the best.
I'm not trying to be that nerd venger.
Hey man, look, I've been that nerd venger since birth. I can't help it. But no, Dan the man hit us with another super two-way for $2. Said, hold up, mains. Need y'all to scroll back for mine. If you talking about the Music Soul Child joint, man, we did it. We gonna take that and put it into a whole song. Look, and this is why I'm saying I need to get Dan. We got to get Dan on like in one of our meetings, man, because Dan on some of the same vibe that we on. Because this is what we need. We need like a Mando Star Wars parody album, like R&B classics in the theme of Star Wars. And that's look, I'm trying to tell you, man. Holla at us, Dan. Holla at us, man. Appreciate that two-way. Then we got Lord Vito. Say with the $2 super two-way, says shout out to Mr. Cara 85. She cool people. Shout out to all the cool people, especially Mr. Cara 85.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Did I miss any others? Are there any others before we get to
before that one? No. Did we do Kendall Davis's $2.99? Said that now DC anime is fire.
No, I did not see that one. Okay.
That is facts. That is complete.
Yes.
On it all. Facts.
I will agree with that.
All right, so everybody's banging on the tables like the kids in the lunchroom who's ready for food.
Well, let's see then. Let us get some of your favorite. I'm not even gonna put one of them. Just give me some of your favorite Star Wars emojis then in this two-way. If you're ready for us to get into this Mando talk, who's ready for it? Who's ready for it tonight? Joe Fuego ready.
Joe Fuego.
Kendall Davis, he looked ready. He looks ready. OG fan, he's ready. Yeah, Kendall's ready. I see Whiskey Steve's ready. Who else we got?
Yeah, they're all ready.
Bruce Almighty.
We make Yoda's hand go up just a little further.
Yeah. Like, bro, see, I'm with that. I'm with that.
He's like this, but he need to be like this for real. He just need to just dabbing Yoda.
Oh man, that's what's up. Yeah, it looks like everybody is ready for us to get into it.
And the Mando.
So
let's do the recap. Let's recap.
When we last left off,
right.
Man,
week on After Dark.
Oh man, we was hyped, ready, trying to figure out how this Ahsoka thing was gonna shake out. I got a question right off top. How many times in the chat? I'm a two-way. How many times have y'all watched episode 5, The Jedi? In the chat, let me know how many times you've seen it since last week. And then while y'all doing that, I'm gonna tell you, I've seen it, I want to say 4 times start to finish. I've watched that episode. I was right there. I wanted to say 5. I'm like, right. I think I've had it on, but yeah, I know for sure it's been 4. I know for sure I've seen it 4 times. You know what I'm saying? And just right off the bat, for me, if you've been watching After Dark like you should be, and should have been this whole time, damn it, I had said the whole season that I was reserving my 10 for when they hit us with a 10 out of 10 episode.
Oh, my man threw it on the table.
Ladies,
I heard him at his house in Texas.
Ladies and gentlemen, when that show ended, I stood up and put 10 fingers in the air and stood there for 10 minutes. Because it was that real.
Wife, the kids, the dog, everybody was
confused. Now they was all asleep actually, because it was like 2:07 in the morning. Wasn't nobody worried about my about my nerve engine behind. It was like, man, gone. Man, but look, that episode was my 10. It was incredible. It was beautifully put together. The themes in that episode were incredible. When you go back and you rewatch, you catch just how much detail and thought was put into it, how you had the Western versus the Eastern vibe, and they kind of juxtaposed both of those little face-off situations against each other. I mean, it was just incredible, man. And like, Ahsoka, y'all.
Ahsoka.
Hey,
Ahsoka. Like, I was even like proud. I had to say that. I was even proud to see her on screen, like live. I was like, and Rosario Dawson, she's so pretty.
Oh man, like how do those young people say it now? Rosario is bae. Is that it? Did I get it right? Is she bae?
Okay, so I've been telling this with Al. Okay, so you remember Lavis said this, because we're gonna change history on this, okay? Because I'm tired of this whole millennial and all this whole boomer talk, and then afterwards we got whatever. Some of us we're kind of stuck in the middle. Okay, we was raised by boomers, but we grew up in the millennial times because of technology. So you know what we are? We are boomlennials. Okay, we ride around in Millennium Falcons.
Yep.
We sip purple drink, and we read out of the book of After Dark's language.
Yes,
we are boomlennials. So that settles that. I'm sorry, I had to get that out.
No, you good, man. We about bridging gaps over here. That's how we get down. Boomerlennial. Right. I'm cool with that. So, but you didn't answer my question. Is that it? Did I get it right? Is she bae? Is she bae? For me, she's bae.
She's on fleek.
She's up. Yes, she's lit. That's
there you go.
She's lit. But no, man, like Ahsoka was so incredible. Like, the funny thing about it is, like, I can remember before Mandalorian even dropped. I'm talking like before season 1. And shout out to Keaton Haas real quick with the $5 super two-way. Say, we ready. I know, we stay ready. Let's go. But like, I remember, man, me and Josh were speculating about Mando even before season 1. And the possibility of Ahsoka showing up in this series, not this season, but this series. And, you know, that possibly leading to an Ahsoka spinoff. Like, y'all please believe and understand this. Josh got this nerd clairvoyance going on, and my man's be knowing. He be knowing. So when he talks, please listen. Shout to Josh. But like, I remember talking to him about it and like us geeking out about live action Ahsoka being a real possibility. And as we've gotten closer and closer, all the way up until last week, it's one of those things for me that I did not realize how much I wanted that until we actually saw it.
You actually saw it, yeah.
And I legit, on the first viewing and the second, had moments where I legit teared up. And it was just because this was like the sigh of relief for me as a Star Wars fan that I have been waiting for since after seeing The Last Jedi. And it's not even on some like sequel trilogy hate or anything like that. We went as a community and as a fan base, Star Wars got so split up because of the sequel trilogy that we could not really nerd out and enjoy the content that we were getting. And watching that episode, you kind of felt like this collective sigh of relief that we are officially out of the dark times. Like, this is what Star Wars is supposed to be. And the way that they introduced Ahsoka, I thought it was excellent. The way that she showed up, they immediately let, you know, for the normies that didn't know who she was, they automatically established her as somebody you don't play with because she was in there moving. The movement was incredible. I think, you know, there was some people that kind of nitpicked some things like the length on her leku or the fact that she wasn't really as acrobatic as she wasn't.
Like
well,
Ahsoka.
But my thing, I'm gonna touch on that too because that's one that I really want to get into. But real quick, just the way that Filoni wrote that episode and the way that it just organically like grew and it built into what we've seen because this was my fear. My fear was that we've gotten this show, The Mandalorian, and I get it, you know, Filoni's been involved, he's wrote and directed, you know, parts of the show or the series, but I was afraid that once you start injecting these existing characters or these animated characters into the show, that it would clash, like there might be a clash in the tone, or that the characters might not come off the way that you would expect them to from animated to live action. Now, Bo-Katan really kind of helped settle some of that, you know, that anxiety that I had when it came to that, you know, the possibility of Ahsoka and how it would come off. But there was still like a little bit of me that was like, okay, I'm gonna have to wait and see how this plays out. And I don't think it could have been any better. Like, I don't think there's anything we could have gotten in that episode that would have been better than what we saw, because what that did was not only did it make Ahsoka immediately a relevant player, one of the most relevant players in Star Wars or in The Mandalorian right now, it gave us a point now that we can look back to and say, that's the moment when it all came together. And I'm not talking about just Mandalorian season 2. I'm not talking about the build up to Ahsoka. I'm talking about when the Star Wars lore under Disney came together and solidified itself. And I think, you know, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say this, I think this is going to be the jump off point. And I think that what we saw with Ahsoka, what we've seen with Boba, what we saw with Bo-Katan and all of these characters, and what's going to come out of that is going to be what creates the new foundation for Star Wars moving forward. So I'm going to shut up because I could talk for the next 2 hours.
Hey, you're good. I'm pretty sure
I could talk for the next 2 hours, man.
Like, yes, Al. Yes.
I'm just saying, it was so beautiful for me, man.
No, I totally agree. Shoot. You talking the fandom side that I do have, you are able to articulate that
word. That's what's up.
So, but no, I feel everything that you're saying for real. It gave me actually, like you said, you know, a cornerstone or something to look at to be like, okay, so if this is how this is, seeing Ahsoka in it, I can now go from here and be like, all right, this is where the Disney thing starts. This is where we kind of broke that down last night. So now, like I said, I understand a little better now from where everybody's talking about Ezra Bridger.
Look, you got it right this time. What?
Where Ezra, you know, disappeared with someone we shall bring up later, because I know Al's, as soon as I say it, I'm going to have to shut up. but they disappeared and everything. Now I can kind of chime in now and be like, okay, I can, because I've seen Rebels and everything, at the end of that. So there's a lot of stuff that I do know that it's starting to make better sense.
Yeah.
And so I'm actually kind of glad that The Mandalorian is a show that they made that I actually like.
Right.
Because like I said, you already know I'm not too big into Star Wars where I'm like, oh my God, I gotta go read the book about this now. I just like the properties that they put out. So now they're helping the movies that I like to watch make sense, because I didn't dabble into too much of the cartoons and stuff. It was just happened to be on, and I was somewhere for a weekend, and that's what we watched. We watched the entire series of Rebels.
Yeah.
So now I know what the hell happened.
Yeah,
and now
this
happened like a year or so ago. So now, it kind of like prepared me for this moment.
Beautiful. I love it.
Right. So I can hang in there, man. But speaking of, with what's going on with Ahsoka, so now we actually have a name because of her powers. We have a name for what I'm still going to call Baby Yoda until everybody's like, he has a name now. But how did you feel when you finally saw the two of them interact? When you seen, because I'm letting you say the name. You see Baby Yoda and Ahsoka together, and it was like interacting. Like, to me, I thought that was like freaking awesome. Like, for real. I was like, wow, finally we got somebody who can talk with him. Is he gonna talk? Like, what's gonna come out of this? Just in that whole moment, and then seeing like the two of them connect very intimately, just two beings just, and it seemed like they were enjoying each other, period.
Right.
It's just, I thought that was a really great moment, and then everything else that transpired after that. How'd you feel about how that went?
I thought that was probably, for me, one of the highlights of the episode. Like, that's the part that when I watched, I was so just caught up in from an emotional standpoint. And it wasn't even like the dialogue sections. It was just kind of like her subtle nods while they were kind of there, communicating with each other through the Force. And you could see that, like, he was actually almost like he was telling her a story almost. And then he finishes, and it's like in my head, I'm like watching little Grogu, because his name is Grogu now. All right. He's Grogu. And it was just like, look, Grogu was just like, I'm so tired. So tired. And just put his little hands up, and she picked him up. And I'm just like, dude, like, I'm watching Ahsoka right now. Like, and the thing that's crazy about it, and this is one of the things that I really haven't heard anybody really touch on, is for people who have been, fans of Clone Wars from the beginning, like, especially the younger generation, you grew up with Ahsoka. You know what I'm saying? Like, Ahsoka was, when she was a Padawan, she was a little chick. She was doing her thing. But we've seen and we've watched her grow up. And you see her in that moment kind of shift into a role that we've not really seen on screen with Ahsoka before. And that's the role of almost like a motherly figure. Like, you're watching an adult Ahsoka in this series. Yeah. And that's where, for the people who had an issue with the voice and saying, oh, well, it didn't sound like her, you have to remember, this is still somewhere between maybe 8 and 10 years after when we last saw Ahsoka on screen actually talking in the present. Now, I know that we see her in the epilogue, but she has no dialogue in that scene. So we don't know what she sounds like. And now, according to some of the stuff that Dave Filoni's been hinting at, and my personal opinion, the epilogue scene with her in Rebels, or at the end of Rebels, I believe, and it takes place after what we saw in episode 5. Like, I think that part, and I want to get into that here in a minute too, but I think that we were looking at Ahsoka, even past what we saw in this episode of Mando. So for me, that's a mature Ahsoka. That is a battle-hardened Ahsoka. That is an Ahsoka that's seen some shit. Like, she done been there and back. You know what I'm saying? And so she's not like, that's a natural evolution, I would think, of what her voice would sound like. And the thing about it was, Rosario Dawson was so dope with it that she got kind of the cadence right. You know what I'm saying? Like the voice inflection and the tone or pitch might have been a little bit different or a little bit deeper, but the actual way that Ahsoka spoke, the way that she recited her lines, the way that she communicated, all the way down to the facial expressions. Like people even caught that, like at the end of the episode where she kind of looks up at, you know, the Razor Crest, like that's that Ahsoka smirk, like that she always has. Yeah. Like there, even when she was fighting Din Djarin and he had her wrapped up in the cable, she was like, she smirked in like, nah, that ain't gonna work, G. And that's Ahsoka all day. Like those are the things, and that's why you want Dave Filoni involved with these characters, is because he, I'm sure when directing that episode, made sure that Rosario hit those beats. And that's why for me, you know, it didn't really make you know, it really didn't take me out of it, the slight difference in the voice. And even more so, like I said, the points in the episode that really, the Ahsoka moments in the episode that really hit the hardest with me were ones where she didn't even speak. It was like her interaction with Grogu was one, you know, some of the fighting scenes were some of the other ones where it was like, this is what I was wanting to see out of a live action Ahsoka. Like this is a brilliant way to encapsulate her ability as a Jedi or as a Force wielder, and to encapsulate kind of the way that her spirit and her vibe, her presence on screen was. Like she was this.
Yeah, exactly.
She's like this burst of energy that showed up in Clone Wars and was always like vibrant. And like even in this episode where it's kind of dark and gritty, like the way that the gracefulness of like her movement and those white lightsabers, like they really presented her as the light in this episode. Like that's what I really got from this, was like she really embodied or looked like the light in this episode. And so that for me was what really really hit me, man. But I want to hit real quick Darth Nablus, shout out with the $10 two-way. He said, I told Nerd Theory that if Favreau and Filoni connect to the sequels and have them make sense, that they should not only run Lucasfilm, but get a Nobel Prize for reuniting the entire Star Wars fan base. I'm so with you on that. And in my opinion, they have done that already. Like this is, and again, maybe we'll get into it tonight, or maybe we might have to spill that over in the afternoon on Saturday. Make sure you stay tuned and check us out on Saturdays for afternoon. But I think, you know, I think Filoni and Favreau have done exactly that. I think they have created a through point that is going to lead right into and beyond the sequel trilogy.
Let's handle Jonathan Velasquez's super player real quick. But everybody, we're gonna do libations. So if you guys want to talk about or geek about anything like that, go ahead and pop in your two ways then, because Al is going to
we about to get a lot of Al. We finna get Look, I've been thinking about this one all week, y'all. Like man.
But, Jonathan says, so what you're trying to tell me is that it's possible a good production team to work in story elements on a 4D chess kind of level. He's like, take my money.
Bruh, I'm trying to tell you that this is like 5D chess. Like this is this is what they just did. If they go the route that I think they are going, this is so like monumental that we don't even realize yet how crazy it's about to get for Star Wars fans. Like, I don't think we have a real grasp yet. And that's just my gut feeling, like just based on the episode, based on some of the implications, we not ready. We are so not ready. I want to jump back real quick because I do want to kind of transition into some more of what I thought with the episode. But Lando C hit us with a $5 super two-way. Appreciate you again, Lando. Said, I have to keep it real. The prequels divided the fan base as well, and people forgot that. That's straight facts. He said, I'm just glad we're on the same page again with the Mando. That is straight facts. And as a boomlennial, I can actually remember what that fallout was like when Phantom Menace came out, and people were all over the fact that Jar Jar was at that point the most annoying Star Wars character, the man, and the fact that people had issues with Anakin Skywalker in that movie, and kind of some of the choices that were made, and some of the flat acting that was done, or the bad writing for characters. Like it was serious. Like people were not feeling that. They weren't feeling it at all.
How they put about that too. Like that was just completely outright awful.
Right.
And you know what? I didn't even think Jar Jar was that bad.
No.
I enjoyed the character. I thought maybe they could downplay him maybe a little bit. He was a little too much at times. Okay,
Oh,
but
yeah,
I mean for the first movie and all that, how he transpired through, I didn't see him as that big of a deal for them to be that toxic about it.
Right. And that's the thing, man. It was so bad, and it's just like, thank God we didn't have social media like that back then, because like, you want to talk about that C word that we don't say on this show no more. Like, you know how many people from that trilogy they would have been trying to get up out of there, man. Like, it was bad.
Yeah.
It was so bad. But going back to episode 5, right? Because we've seen, you know, all week long, everybody's been speculating, everybody's been talking about who this could be and who that could be. Of course, one of the huge reveals in the episode was that Ahsoka is looking for a certain somebody by the name of Grand Admiral Thrawn. Oh,
Yes, sir.
Thrawn gonna bring the fleet, man. Like, I'm telling you, bro. Like, when she said that, I was like, oh, wait a minute, hold on, stop it right now. Like, she hit us with Thrawn, bro, and it's like and here's the thing, right? And this is the question I have for you and for all of the whole two-way community. Does Ahsoka know what happened with Ezra and Thrawn yet?
Or you want me to like give my honest answer?
Yeah, I want to know. I want to know what you think.
Okay, if he was baiting me in for something.
No. I'm dead serious. I want to know what you thought. If you think that she knows what their ultimate fate was as far as what happened in Rebels.
Okay, so I mean, I would say if she is looking for Thrawn, for what I do know, it would have to be in the interest of something going on with Ezra. I don't think that she knows, because how I look at it is, just from a real life standpoint, they're planning on making the Bo-Katan Ahsoka spinoff. So I feel if that were the case, to where she knew what was going on with Ezra and Thrawn, she would actually be helping Bo-Katan on her little adventure with trying to get the dark back. So I don't really feel like she knows what happened with Ezra. I'm not entirely sure if he's still out there in the unknown regions, but I think something with Ezra and Thrawn most definitely are going on. I can't say sure if they're like helping each other or they're just lost together. I just know that whatever one is, the other probably is not too far behind.
Got you. I feel you. I think that when I look at it and looking at the episode, listening to what Filoni kind of hinted at, and thinking about it from just the context of where we are, I want to postulate something to the people, and I want y'all to know. Let me know in the Super 2-way how y'all feel about this. I don't think that Ahsoka knows where Ezra or Thrawn are, or what happened to them just yet, in terms of as we are in episode 5 of The Mandalorian. So I agree with you on that, but I want to take it a step further than that. I also think that the Rebels scene, the epilogue in or the scene in the Rebels epilogue, where Ahsoka shows up to meet Sabine, I think that takes place a good while beyond what we saw in Mandalorian episode 5. And this is the reason why I think there's a connection with all of that. And here's what I think, right? So, number one, Ezra, when the last time that we saw Ahsoka before the epilogue, right, was in the World Between Worlds with Ezra Bridger, saying that she could not go with him, right? She was like, I can't go back with you. I've got to go back and handle my business elsewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's the scene where she goes back through the portal and she walks into the temple on, let's just assume that's Malachor right now, right? So she goes there. So that means she's going back into a whole different time period where she's not in contact with the rebel, with the crew, with the Ghost crew. She doesn't know what's been going on yet. Now, it's very well possible that she's had contact or conversation with them after the whole siege of the battle on Lothal. But in my opinion, I don't think that she has. I think Ahsoka's been out there doing her own thing, and trying to get back to a point where she can get in touch with that team and get in touch with Sabine and find and what she thinks is get back. She's like probably like, let me get back to Hera, let me get back to Sabine and Ezra, see what they got going on, so I can let them know what I didn't found out.
Right.
But then I think what happens is she gets sidetracked by what's going on in Mandalorian, and that ends up with her having some sort of a revelation down the line that makes her realize that, you know, number one, Thrawn and Ezra are going together somewhere, and I got to go find out where the hell they are. And so she goes to Sabine, and that's what we saw in the epilogue. Now, here's where it gets super crazy, because some of the other reasons that I thought that this takes place, the epilogue scene takes place after, it takes place after what we saw in the Jedi episode of Mandalorian, is because in that epilogue scene, Ahsoka's like basically Ahsoka the White. Like she's got the whole white garb on. She's got the staff. The Leku are longer. And when you compare that to what we saw in Mando, there was no staff other than, I mean, they had the one that was made out of Beskar, excuse me. Yeah. But that wasn't the staff that she had at the epilogue of Rebels, because the one that she had like a little circle on the top and all that. So she had kind of like elevated to some, let's just call it a higher level of consciousness in the Force or something like that, right? So she's a whole different character right there. Another interesting thing to think about is in that scene, Sabine is on kind of, I think, a tower, like a balcony or something, and she's looking out, and it's assumed that she's on Lothal, because you see like the Loth cats running, I think, and they show like all of these different scenes, but she's looking out to this city, which I assumed was Lothal. You know what I'm saying? And it's all, you know, beautiful again. The architecture's in place. It's all gold and shimmering and whatnot. But what we just saw at the end of that Rebels episode was that Thrawn them rolled up and just started bombing Lothal. So that means it took some time for them to rebuild some of that stuff. So that let me know right off the rip that if Sabine is in Lothal on that scene, then that's got to be well after what we saw at the actual end of Rebels, because Lothal is restored once again. Like Lothal looks like it's function, like it almost looks untouched. You know what I'm saying? It looks pristine in those scenes. So again, I could be wrong if that's not Lothal. Like I'm totally down to be corrected, but assuming that's Lothal, that had to be further down the line. So that kind of gives you an idea to say, okay, well, look, this whole thing with Ahsoka and her showing up to go get Ezra with Sabine takes place after Mando. So that begs the question for me, what is it that she finds out during this time frame, and how is that going to connect to Ezra? And buckle your seatbelts, people, because I'm finna hit you with some shit. So I went back and watched the Mortis arc in Clone Wars, right? And just to remind people, in that episode or in that arc, Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Ahsoka go out. There's a distress signal out in space. They go out and investigate, and there's this big ship that basically pulls them in, and they wake up on Mortis essentially. And they meet the father, the daughter, and the son. Now, the daughter is Morai, or the daughter is the light, and she's accompanied by Morai, I think, which is the owl. And then you have the son, who kind of leans towards and embodies the dark. And then the father is neutral. Now, somebody said in the chat that this could be the way that they connect the sequel trilogy, and I think so too, but I think this is going to be not just the sequel trilogy, but this is how you could technically connect all of the trilogies, everything that we've seen in Star Wars or the Disney Star Wars era so far, and then you could even bring some Legends elements into this. So just feel me real quick. Bear with me for a minute, people. So Ahsoka in that episode actually ends up dying. Like she ends up getting brainwashed or taken over by the son, if you will, and used as a pawn to try to get at Anakin, or to try to for him to wrestle power essentially. And she ends up like sucked up, dead, dry, like out of there. And then there's a scene that takes place where the son ends up inadvertently killing his sister the daughter, because he's trying to get his dad out the way, you know. So and in this, the father is telling Anakin, who's also there with him, he's like, your destiny is to take my place. You are the chosen one. You are supposed to be here. And this is what this is your destiny, is to be here and maintain balance. Anakin ain't really feeling that, and we kind of know how that ends up. You know what I'm saying? But I want to really focus on Ahsoka right here, because in this, Ahsoka dies, and then the daughter gets killed, but her last act before she dies is she either transfers her essence into Ahsoka through Anakin, because Anakin kneels down, the father's behind him, the father uses his power, and you see this force energy, if you will, leave the daughter, go through Anakin and into Ahsoka to bring Ahsoka back to life.
Right.
Okay. And then coincidentally, every episode after that, you always see Morai kind of following Ahsoka around. Okay. So with that, again, Anakin is told during that arc that he is supposed to be the successor of the father. He's supposed to be the father. Now, what was one of the biggest questions, or one of the biggest beefs that every Star Wars fan had with the sequel trilogy? That Anakin did not show up.
Right. I was about to say, yeah.
That Anakin was nowhere in that sequel trilogy. You know what I'm saying? So here's the thing. What if Anakin, after redeeming himself, after defeating the Emperor, after showing up as a Force ghost on Endor, ends up traveling back to Mortis and taking his seat as the father? Now he is that person. And what if Ahsoka's destiny is to be the daughter? Because now she is the embodiment of the light side. Hence the reason we see her the way that she is in the Rebels epilogue, in the all white with the staff, which I believe the sister had in something similar in her arc. I believe, I could be wrong on that, but then that begs the question, well, then who would be the son?
Right.
And I think, you know, again, in that instance, or in that previous instance, you had the father who was kind of in the middle. You had the daughter who was light side. You had the son who was dark side. And maybe in this new setup, you have the father who's neutral in Anakin Skywalker, the daughter who's kind of neutral-ish gray, and the same with the son. So it could go that way, and somebody just stole my idea, and this was where I was going to hit people with it. But I see you in the two-way, Travis Adams.
I see that.
Ahsoka's the daughter, Maul is the son, and you have Anakin as the father. And that's the reason that Ahsoka nor Anakin were in the sequel trilogy, because what happened was, in the I believe and I'm on sweat mode for real. I'm like in there, Marcel. I'm in there, bro. I am in my bag tonight. I'm serious. I'm in my bag tonight, bro. But Anakin, that could explain why he did not show up in the sequel trilogy, because the father says that he, you know, by making the choice to take his children to Mortis to try to, you know, balance the light and the dark, they're kind of stuck there. They can't leave. They can't go anywhere. So if Anakin goes back to Mortis, then he can't. Then it's assumed, you can assume he can't leave. Now, the thing about Mortis is the ship that pops out in Clone Wars, and I think Josh pointed this out, looks very familiar to some ships that are related to another planet that Ahsoka name dropped in episode 5, and that's Tython. If you go back and look up Legends lore on Tython, there were some ships that basically came from that planet, and they look eerily familiar to the ones that ship that we saw in the Clone Wars episode with Mortis, in the Mortis arc. So you could assume that, again, if that ship came from Tython, that Tython essentially is the birthplace of the Force, or the nexus of the Force as we know it, which means it is very well conceivable that is actually where Anakin's been this whole damn time. Dr. Window, yes, your boy need a towel, because but that's the one right there for me. Is like, that's the way you take the prequel trilogy, you take the sequel trilogy, and you take the OG trilogy, you link them all together in that way. You give Anakin Skywalker purpose, and you make him truly the father, the actual, the balancer of the Force. We have a rightful place for Ahsoka, and we have a rightful place for Maul. And there's your new trinity to go forward in Star Wars as we go on. Man, I'm going to shut the hell up. I need some lightsaber emojis if y'all feel me. Can I get an amen in this church of Star Wars?
even I got to agree with that. That makes everything, to me, it makes everything make more sense if it were to go that way, especially with tying in Tython as, like you said, like the actual birthplace. Because there was like, what? I think it's between that and possibly other six other planets or other places, as they said, that it could have originated from. But Tython is kind of like the one in like the lead. Like if someone was to bring it up, it's one of the number one places. So that would make a heck of a lot better sense. Right. Just period. And it would redeem a few things. It would turn some other things around and also leave that nice, beautiful wormhole for the future. So
that's what I'm saying. And my thing
lightsabers
is,
off to you, sir.
Appreciate it. And my thing is, I see in the two-way, people are saying, well, Maul is dead. That I don't think would have any necessary merit. Can't even talk. I don't think that would necessarily have any bearing on his place as the son, because again, number one, we've seen characters die and come back time and time again in Star Wars. But two, this doesn't necessarily have to be in the sense of a physical being. He could be again, Anakin is dead. So it could be Anakin's Force ghost now, that he's transcended. And again, we've seen in the sequel trilogy, I know people, say what you want to about it, but there's precedent where, they made Luke Skywalker in Rise they gave him more power as a Force ghost than we've seen point blank period, because my man caught the lightsaber when she tried to throw it into the fire. You know what I'm saying? We saw Yoda in The Last Jedi command lightning to strike the tree on Ahch-To. These are things that we did not think were possible for a Force ghost to do. So the idea, and I'm not saying I'm not saying that Maul would be a Force ghost, because we all know how that works with the dark side. But I would not put it past Filoni and Favreau to find a way to put Maul in that position, or there could be somebody else that ends up in that position. It could very well be somebody else that ends up in that position. So hell, it could be Baby Yoda. It could be Grogu. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could be ultimately Grogu that ends up there. It could be, somebody that we don't yet know. So I'm just geeked out about it, because what it's doing for us one way or the other is it's giving us the opportunity to talk about this instead of what we disagree about.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That's the thing. That's most definitely the thing. And I've actually watched and noticed that throughout the entire community, that now you guys can stop talking about the past and start focusing on a future. And stop trying to be so toxic towards each other, because you have to pick and choose what parts of certain things that you liked and what parts that you think should be retconned or whatever the case. Now you got things that can make sense.
That's what's up.
I'm happy for you.
Yeah, man. It's a great day. It's a great day to be Star Wars fans, man. It's a great day indeed. But yeah, man, I think definitely. The Tython thing is really crazy. And we haven't even gotten into that. So let's jump into that real quick, because Ahsoka didn't just send Grogu and my man Din Djarin the Tython and say, hey, just show up on this planet and hope for the best. She told him to place the baby on the beacon so that he can, or told him to sit him on the seat so she can send the Force beacon out in hopes that a Jedi will show up. And everybody seems to be keyed in on a specific Jedi being the Jedi to show up. So let me know, with some green lightsabers in the two-way, if you guys think that Luke is the Jedi that we will see on Tython.
I don't know, man.
I'm really curious to see how many people are down with
I'm curious too, because I don't know. It's a between a 1 and 2 kind of choice, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it being Luke. I feel that possibly it should be, especially during this time and what's going down. I feel like it should be, but I just don't think it's going to be him. I think they're either going to go with something even more possibly stunning than that, if possible, or it's going to be somebody like, because like I said, she's looking for Ezra. There's like no reason why he couldn't already been back after the timeline we spoke about is between like, you know, the years that's in between it. He could totally be on Tython too. So I see somebody say Cal Kestis. Cal Kestis is another one. He could possibly show up. Mace Windu was another that could possibly show up.
Right.
Because there's actually a good list of Jedi that still is around.
That's the
during
thing.
This time. So
that's the thing right there. And to be honest, man, I don't think. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say this real fast because with the Mace Windu thing, because I already said it to you, but I see them going along that route to where I would not be surprised if it is a Mace Windu character, because so far everybody that they've had cameo is getting some kind of a spinoff show.
Right.
So I wouldn't be surprised if it's a Mace Windu. I'm not going. I say it's about a 40% for me on that. Out of everything else, it's a good 40% chance that could happen. But
yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't think it's gonna be Luke, man. As much as I want it to be Luke, I don't think it's gonna be Luke. And I think somebody had the same idea, and I don't know who it was in the two-way. So let us know when I say it. But I don't feel like that's a Filoni move. Like, I think for Filoni, this is about giving relevance and bringing these animated characters into a live action significance. So when I think of it from that aspect, I would imagine it to be Ezra that shows up more than Luke. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would go that way.
I would feel like it would be Ezra to show up. Or if Ezra doesn't show up, I would feel like it would be Grogu. As she says, he chooses his own fate. Maybe Grogu decides he doesn't want to learn from a Jedi. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he decides he wants to stick with Din Djarin. Like it could very well be. It could very well be that. Anthony Strader just hit me with a two-way. Said, "What if it's Mace flipping Windu? If it's Mace flipping Windu, I'ma lose my flipping mind." But the only thing I'll say about it being Mace is this: if it was Mace, then Mace also has to be the one that got him out of the Jedi Academy. Like it would have to be, for me to feel okay with that. You would have to explain to me that Mace Windu, and again, this could very well have some credence because I was thinking about this one too. There are those scenes in the prequel trilogy where Yoda and Mace kind of look at each other every now and again, like they know something that the rest of the Jedi Council don't know.
So yeah, I'm actually glad you said that because I want to say it was episode 3, but don't quote me. But I was pretty sure, isn't there a scene or something where the two of them are talking and they're kind of like already ahead of the game on this Order 66 thing? Because I could swear that they were talking already about hiding most of the younglings. It's just that Anakin kind of flipped out and just started doing it. But they already had something that they were discussing. So as I was just sitting here thinking that, I'm pretty sure they had some kind of contingency. So I would not be surprised if Mace does show up and we start getting the full rest of the story on Baby Yoda.
So, and here's my thing. They could even go with it and say, because they were kind of, against this idea. I won't say against it, but they were kind of not necessarily feeling this idea of Anakin being the one, like the chosen one.
Right.
So what if maybe Grogu in their eyes was potentially the chosen one? And so Mace Windu, because again, we went through the whole the prequel trilogy, with my dude Mace giving Anakin the side eye the whole time. Even when
he was.
Yeah. Even when he, Anakin came to him and gave him the news about the homie Sheev, he still was like, nah, you just hang here, and if you right, then I trust you.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
He was always on him. So I agree with that. I remember that.
And that's my thing. It's like if Mace and Yoda were on that level, then it very well could explain, and it would make sense that upon discovery of Order 66, Mace goes and gets maybe just a handful of these younglings, or particularly he takes Grogu and it's like, I've got to get you out of here. And then when Grogu makes his way to Tython here, he shows up, and who comes out to show up? No other than Mace Windu. That Mace essentially went into hiding after that and has just been waiting for Grogu to resurface.
Right, because he can feel him in the Force or something.
Right,
like
because he feels him when he's on that beat, when he sends that beacon out. Mace Windu realizes it, and he's like, "Oh, that's my cue. Let me go pick the little homie up." Like, it could be that. I don't necessarily lean really towards that, because I think that's really stretching. Yeah, I think too, like bringing Mace into it from that standpoint, it almost cheapens Mace in my opinion, because it's like you would know that he's only going to be there for a temporary amount of period, because like my man older than dirt at this point. Like he would probably be older than like Alec Guinness Obi-Wan from the like he would be old. So and I mean,
found that Force fountain well and been
that's
chilling.
true. That's true.
Black don't crack.
Oh, for real. You know it.
Look at Samuel. He can't be that old.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying, man. It's like that. I can see it, but I really, I don't think that's the route that they're gonna go. I think my money would be on it being one of three people: Cal Kestis, Ezra Bridger, or a yet to be discovered Jedi that we don't know about. And if it ends up being that yet to be discovered thing, it would be because Grogu is going to basically decide he wants to stick with Din Djarin. And that's kind
of
and
that would help the narrative, yeah.
Right, exactly. Because then you would have, this Force sensitive Grogu, like extremely powerful in the Force, being trained as a Mandalorian in the ways of the Mandalorian. And so that could be, crazy in and of itself. But speaking of Grogu and Din Djarin, I know Josh is on this tip, and I've seen some other people talk about it, where it's possible that Din Djarin might be Force sensitive. What you think about that, homie?
I really don't feel like he is Force sensitive. Like, but I just think that him and his people, they just have the maximum amount of presence you can have for your omnipresence. So it's kind of like how you were saying, it's just their instinct.
Yeah,
they're very instinctual people, especially having to live that way. So I feel like if he was more Force sensitive, or at least if he isn't yet, or whatever the case, I just don't think he is, period. Because I think he would have picked up on certain things being around another extremely Force sensitive being, like Baby Yoda is. There's no way that he can be around. To me, he'd be around this kind of a character and something not twinge a little bit. Say I feel like their dynamic works mostly because him as a Mandalorian and being part of the older order and being raised how he was, their dynamic works well because Yoda is or Grogu is a character that was being trained, or at least being in a positive Force environment, and is now thrusted into a life of violence, you could say, especially with how he came across him. And I think that just works for their dynamic, for him to be an instinctual being that has room to grow and not being Force sensitive, than him just to be Force sensitive, and then eventually him and Grogu start talking and having regular conversations like through the Force. I don't know. Maybe for you guys, you would probably enjoy that, but I think for the level of which I like to obtain and stay at, seeing a Mandalorian and them go through the lore and how those types of people have their legend, and then seeing him grow from that because of this Force sensitive being, I like that more than I like seeing two people become Force sensitive and blah blah blah. I don't know. I like it how it is.
No, I feel you.
It's good for me.
And that's my thing, right? I've been back and forth on this. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like one hand, I and we talked about it. It was like I could kind of explain a reason for him being Force sensitive, and I could kind of see it in some of the visual cues they gave in the episode. Especially when he was communicating with Grogu to take the little top from the little shift or whatever from the ship. it was, and for me, it really begged the question, like, well, how is he communicating with him, and how has Grogu been able to understand what it is that he's been telling him on some level? He hasn't, and I think there's no throwaway footage in this show. I don't think. Like, I don't think there's anything in this. And the reason that I feel like there may be, a hinting at the Force sensitivity is not just for that communication scene, but even at the very beginning of the episode where my man is telling him to try to connect the blue wire and whatnot. I think that was the previous episode, actually. That was episode 4, where he's telling, Baby Yoda to connect the blue wire where the red wire used to go and all that. Like, you could tell Baby Yoda didn't fully understand what he was telling him to do. You know what I mean?
I mean, he did, but at the same time, it felt like he still wanted to entertain. It seems like for the character, the way they're building Grogu right now, it's like he understands. I feel he understands. It's just that because of the position he's in and the fact that he could play off of how he is, he just does what he wants. So if he wants some cookies and he's politely, he's like, you can tell he wants some cookies. He put his hands out. You can be like, nah, he just took the cookies. So now he's trying to help him with them wires. And he was like, connect this, connect that. And he was looking at the wires. He was like, okay, but I don't care what you're talking about. I want to know what this is going to be like. I'm always hungry. I want to put this in my mouth. And, he's still being a kid. So I just think, he's just being how he wants to be, to take his, because we don't got character building too much for Grogu. We're just now getting that. So now we're learning that through this entire time, season 1, now episode 5, he's been lonely. And although he's been with the Mandalorian this whole time, they focus mainly on the fact that he used to be where he was happy at that, and that was ripped from him. And since then, he's felt like he's been by himself. And you can't blame him for that, because even though the Mandalorian is, Din Djarin is starting to reach out and branch out and feel for the youngling. At the same time, like I've always said, he's ready to pawn his little ass off on somebody the first moment he can. So you can't really expect anybody to want to build too much of a attachment to someone who they know at any given chance they're going to do something reckless because they could possibly die, or they're going to try to pawn you off on somebody that their whole charge is just to get you where you're going and to leave you there. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's what I'm saying. I kind of like it. The fact if they make him Force sensitive, do it like after the fact, like we're in the future where it could kind of meld better with Grogu, but don't do it too soon, because I think as Din Djarin is, he needs to grow more. You know what I'm saying? And I'm actually enjoying seeing him be a little more loose than from when we first seen him in season 1, where he's all about the business. You know what I'm saying? So that's my take on it.
Got you. Well, I'm gonna tell you this though. Like, I disagree slightly, because I think that we have seen growth in Grogu from the beginning to now.
Oh yeah.
And I think that, there is more of an attachment between him and Din than what meets the eye. You know what I'm saying? Because I totally agree with you that
I agree with
I think that he
is
I think he has been and felt alone, but I think his kind of like saving grace, if you will, has been his adventures with Din.
Oh, most
and
definitely.
That Din is that connection, and that's why he's not going to want to let go of that, because Din has been, even though in Din's mind, Din has been like, my mission is to get this dude to somebody that knows what to do with him. So that's what I got to do, but I think that, even from the very first episode of Mandalorian, they already introduced the idea that there's a connection level between these two characters that's beyond just a normal, oh, I feel sorry and I don't want to kill this kid. Like, I think Din on some level knew that there was some kind of importance to this child. And that's why, it kind of makes me wonder about the Force sensitivity thing, because again, and I'll be honest, I don't really want to see that either. Like, I don't want to see Din be Force sensitive.
Not too soon, at least.
Well, I don't want to see it at all. And the reason I don't want to see it at all is because I want them.
I agree with that.
I want the Mandalorians. I'm not saying that we shouldn't have Force sensitive Mandalorians, but what I want Din to be I want Din's character, other than his origin and where he comes from, to be us to have that package now. Like, I don't think there needs to be another revelation for Din. We have Grogu for that. We have Ahsoka for that. We have all of these other characters that we start to learn things about. I want Din to continue to be the through line and kind of the protagonist of sorts, but keep him just the way he is. Like, he doesn't necessarily need to be force sensitive. If you want to give him any type of force sensitivity, what I would say is maybe you position it so that Grogu is so powerful in the force that he can sense like the communication. Right.
Gotcha. Okay. I see where you're going with that. Okay.
Like in that moment where Ahsoka tells Din to connect with him, that it's not necessarily Din Djarin channeling the force, but opening himself up to allow the force to be used through him. Because I think that's the difference. Like we all, amen. You gotta let it through. Let him in. Let him feel it. Let him feel it. You felt that, right? It was like, man, you got to like you have to let that go through him. And I think that's what happens. And so I think if anything, that could be a dope thing. Because imagine a scene where like Baby Yoda or Grogu is like hemmed up somewhere and in the vicinity of Din Djarin, right? Din Djarin's in peril. It's about to be a wrap for that dude, but he just he lets go. Like he doesn't, he's like, he's basically kind of resigned that this is going to be it for him. But in that letting go, Grogu is able to use the force through him in that moment to get him out of whatever like that situation is. You know what I mean? I would love to see something like that, but for them to all of a sudden just say, oh snap, he's been force sensitive this whole time, like, and just didn't know it. No, I don't want to see that. Not from the standpoint that I think it waters down the force, but it's like I think Din's character is solid enough without force sensitivity. Like he don't need that.
No. I don't think he needs that. And as far as the speculation go, one just came back to mind. That I kind of geeked out when I saw it was on that list. You might remember what I'm talking about. But if you want to put in a character, I'm not gonna say throwaway, but at least give some other kind of canon for the video games. On that list was Kyle Katarn, and I would totally be one of the first ones to geek out if they throw any kind of Kyle Katarn in Star Wars, because I feel like one of the games need a little more homage, because that's what got me started even liking Star Wars. And I actually followed through because you got to play the game anyway. With Kyle Katarn's story and just him starting off in Dark Forces and just being a regular little mercenary to where they got him all the way down to like defeating the outcasts, the Jedi outcasts, and they gave him like his own little academy there for the game a little bit. Just that character alone, seeing him pop up and still have some kind of OG element in the Mandalorian, even for just a moment, and that's someone that they meet, I would totally be like you. At the end of the day, be like, yes, that's my 10.
That's my 10. That's my 10.
I still haven't given one a 10 yet. Like and like an honest 10, like, oh my God, that's a 10.
Yeah.
I'd probably still wish you with a 9.5.
So
yeah, I mean, I know in the last stream I was like, yeah, it's a 10 episode. This was a great 10 episode too. Don't get me wrong, but it's like that would be my 10 if something like that happened. You know what I mean? Like for a Star Wars, the level I obtain and accept.
Yeah,
that's my 10.
I feel you.
So Carl Katarn, that would be something I'd be happy to see.
Yeah,
and
no
that
doubt.
is a very weird question to ask. Sure, huh?
I feel
questions like that.
But yeah, man. So let's talk about tonight. You know what I'm saying? Episode 6. Where do we think episode 6 is gonna go? Like, are we going?
I say episode 6 is Enter Moff Gideon.
Okay.
Now is the time for him to show up. Be like, yo, I've been tracking you, cuz. You've been going to all these little planets, nephew. I know what you've been doing. And I need that back, cuz. You got some property, some merchandise.
Yeah, I need to see that
coming through like Snoop. I see that happening. And then somebody getting hit and be like, oh Lord.
Call the ambulance. Pick up your people. Oh, we so got to get a people that here in a little bit, man. Like, we so got to get a people that.
We totally do. But I think Moff Gideon is going to come into play for sure. And then I see it just when I say going downhill, I don't mean like a bad way, like an episode way, but I mean like just for them, through the story, I see it taking off there. Something's gonna go down between Moff Gideon, Din Djarin, and whoever this little new Jedi that they're gonna pop in, and we're gonna start seeing some of them Mandalorian Din Djarin skills with that staff. But I don't think it's gonna be enough to handle what Moff Gideon is gonna throw at him this episode, and he's gonna have to band up with some of these people that we've seen in the previous episodes, and go ahead and handle that and settle that for episode 8. But that's what I see happening 6, 7, and 8. That's what in a nutshell.
Yeah, no, I definitely get you. And that's, you know what I'm saying, like, where I can't wait to see kind of where they go with it, because I agree with you. I think this is the Moff Gideon episode, like the beginning of that. Well, we've got 3 episodes left, so you've really got to got to get on with it, because there's got to be some more or something that goes on with Tython and that whole situation. And so we got to get to that now. Like, we've got 3 episodes.
He's got to show up at least by the end of this episode. Maybe give us a little bit more of the lore with Grogu, what's going on with him. But by the end of this, Gideon, he got to be a force.
Yeah. That's the whole thing. And he's got to be. And you got to set it down, or you got to set it up, I'm sorry, to make it so that we remember that, this dude is not to be played with.
Right.
Like, we got to go back to that whole situation and being like, okay, that's right, Gideon's here. And on top of that, we have to figure out the Thrawn connection. Now, do you think we will find any more about that this episode, or will that be another one of those hints for later?
That's another one of those hints for later. That's one of those mid-season drops like they did with Boba Fett season 1. They dropped Boba Fett like around mid-season, didn't pay it off. Then they showed him again at the beginning of this season. At least so far, hasn't paid it off. But I definitely can say that Thrawn thing, I don't think you'll get too much more out of that. I mean, unless the only way you probably get any more of that is if Ahsoka shows back up somewhere later by episode 7 or 8, and then all she's saying is, I need to go somewhere to go find Thrawn. That's the only other reference you're gonna get to that. You're not gonna see nothing else about him in Mandalorian.
Okay, I got you. So you think that's it? That was the only thing that we get?
I think that's it. So far, the way they've been disappointing me, but I ain't got nothing else with Boba Fett. They didn't show my man's armor. They didn't show the dude showing up on the top of the mountain, and nothing. And then they got that pearl, and what's going on with that? Nothing. So I'm not putting too much stake into it. Just a name drop and stuff like that. I think that's just, hey, this is some stuff we're working on in the future, guys. You want to come back and watch the Filoni and the Favreau-verse. That's what you want, guys. And y'all are just eating that all up. I think that's what that is. But I mean, it's dope. It's still dope. So
I think
no Disney respect.
You can't be doing that, man. Yes, and then you made me hit the gong on top of it. Get out of here with this nonsense, man. We just spiraling.
I needed that gong. Hey. I needed it. I'm complete.
I did it. Now you complete. You got your gong. You complete now.
I am complete.
I got you. But man, I think this episode. I'm just really hoping that it doesn't turn into. I'm really hoping that it doesn't turn into another one of those, and I don't think it will, because we only have 3 episodes left. But please don't let this turn into another one of those filler episodes, like especially after what we got.
I'm trying to stay away from speculating that. I'm trying to stay away from that.
I don't think it will be though. Like I don't think in this instance,
me either.
I don't think we can afford that at this point. To your Thrawn point though, I think what we'll get is more context. Like we won't see him necessarily, but we will get context. We will get the context that we need Shut up.
I'm sorry. I'm laughing because of Whiskey Steve.
Oh, what is Whiskey Steve? I thought you was hitting me for.
No, he caught me first. He said finale will have everything: Mando, Baby Yoda, Ahsoka, Boba, Thrawn, Batman, Captain America, Mickey Mouse, Obi-Wan, and they finna kick some ass.
Oh, I see. So he think they're gonna be some. So basically, what you saying is we gonna show up on Tython. Gideon's gonna be there. He gonna whoop Ahsoka ass. He gonna whoop Din's ass. Baby Yoda's gonna be laid out somewhere, and then all of a sudden, Din's gonna hear in his communicator on your left, and then here come Luke, Batman, 3 Captain Americas. I see where you're going with this. Because
you know, Batman and Captain America are the only ones that have power to cross over the verses like that.
That's it.
So Spider-Man's coming.
Hell, at that point, just have
all main versions.
So just have Batman,
Spider-Man. All the main.
We trust. There you go. Matter of fact, just have Terrence Howard show up as a black Luke Skywalker.
Period.
And have him be like, have him look at Din and Ahsoka and be like, I'm here, deal with it, let's move on.
Luke Main Walker.
I got a couple Padawans working on the changes for me.
Right. Lions. We finna start an empire, G.
We gotta do this, man. We gotta do this.
Taraji gonna show up next week.
Oh man. You know it's hard out here for a Sith. See, look, and this is where it derailed right at this moment.
Right.
Into Terrence Howard, and the show goes to hell. Oh man.
I think Feige was smart. He was like, I see what you're trying to do, Don.
He's like, no, you got to get up out of here.
Yeah.
Oh man.
My bad, guys. That's all my fault.
Yeah, blame that guy. Blame him. He did it. Him. But no, man. I think this episode. I think it's really gonna. I don't think so. Here's another question for you. Tython. Are we getting Tython now, or are we not getting Tython to the end of the season?
Oh no, I think we're totally gonna get Tython. I think so far what this seems like they've been doing is making things canonical for the show. So I think they're gonna.
Sorry,
I see that.
Lando with the super two-way. This is why I love our peoples, man, because they be so in with us. I love it. Terrence Howard, whoop that Sith, get him. Whoop that Sith, get him.
Yeah. Yep.
See, look,
talk about
it. And it's a shame. It's a shame that they killed off my man. What's his name? Saw Gerrera in Rogue One, because he could so be the Anthony what you call it role where he's like the producer in the background with the little NPC. Yeah. Like, oh man, we need to do that.
Ain't down with the Sith, then you gotta go.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I think we're still gonna get.
At least now we know what DJ really stood for.
Right.
Din Djarin.
Din Djarin.
That's why you don't want to take that mask off, man.
Right.
That wasn't Pedro. Right. Pedro was the first season. They recast my main now.
Yep. They got Terrence Howard.
Look, I got Jedi Lorian in here. It's a hard knock life for Siths. Like,
oh my goodness.
Instead of Jedi, we get Sith.
Oh my goodness.
Force lightning and all that shit. It's a hard knock life. Boy, look. Oh man!
I told you we gonna make that album, man.
Yeah, we are. I promise we gonna do it. I promise we gonna do it.
Dan the Main needs to hit us up. We gonna do that.
For real. We need a couple producers. We need a couple engineers. Look, we already got the writing on lock. I'm trying to tell you, man. Look.
No, I mean, well, I do the engineering and
the
producing as well.
What am I talking about? I didn't want to put all the work on you.
I was trying to. Well, I mean, I enjoy it, but I was trying to.
What are we waiting on then?
Let's
go. Let's get it.
Stream. I mean,
I got my favorite frugal venture out here. Dr. Window hit us up in the two-way, say, Al, you got a new song to write, man. He know. Look, it's time for me to dust off. They not ready, man.
Right. Well, we made that agreement already. If I make a beat.
Oh yeah, I'm writing. I'm writing.
So.
See, look, and now I got Travis Adams trying to really trigger me, talking about the Jack Sith 5. Oh man, no, let me hear that Mando machine.
Right.
Oh, let me tell you.
Beats by Palp.
Oh, hey, man.
Those would be the #1 sellers, $1 billion idea.
I'm trying to tell you, man.
He's forever coming back. You can't get rid of Palpatine. Cannot get rid of him at
all. No.
So,
he said 5 shots couldn't stop him. He took them and smiled.
Right.
He was like, nope.
He got 4 more to go.
4 more to go.
Go.
Oh, man, for real.
Goodness. But try to bring it back.
Bring it back.
I still believe we're gonna get Tython.
Okay.
And I think I would go as far as
you saying Tython tonight?
Yeah. And I would say I would go as far as Tython. Well, you know what? I didn't really consider that. So what? It's been taking him an episode to make it to a planet, huh? I don't know. I feel like they're gonna cut that out. I feel like he's just gonna smooth show up. He got his ship fixed. All that's done with. He's got to go straight to Tython because, like I'm telling y'all, man, y'all think it's a joke, but my man is trying to get rid of Grogu. Okay, he's always been trying to do that. He's a Mandalorian still, and through and through, he's at least like them Mounties. He's gonna get the task done. He's gonna get his man.
Did you just give me a Mountie reference?
Yes, I was hoping T-Rev would be in here.
I'm the Mountie.
Just back me up.
Hey, look, I know something about the Mountie. Look, I know about the Mountie. Hey. I get down with the Mountie.
They always.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
They're gonna call my man Din Djarin. He's gonna have his own pizza soon because he delivered like Domino's.
Like Domino's, man.
He's gonna try and get him to somebody he can drop him off to and get his little $2.99 tip, get back at his ship, and go home. That's what he's trying to do. So I think they're gonna cut all that out. He's gonna show up on Tython. That's where it's all gonna kick off at least.
Yeah,
I say at least by the end of the episode.
See, yeah, I think Tython's gonna be an episode 8 thing. I think
there's gonna be some problems now, and then we finally learn about him at the end.
Well, no, I think what's gonna happen is Din Djarin and Grogu, they're gonna be on their way, and in this episode they're gonna get sidetracked by something. Like, something's gonna happen.
They've been doing that.
And they're gonna get sidetracked, but it's gonna be in such a way that we get even more context. Like, I don't know if it'll be maybe this is the point where, because like I said, I think Gideon, since he was tracking them anyway, I think Gideon's whole thing was he knew that Ahsoka was on Corvus and didn't want them problems. Like he didn't want.
I got you.
He didn't want to fool with trying to get Grogu back with Ahsoka in the picture, and so I think what he's gonna try to do is he's gonna try to get his hands on Grogu this episode, and I think that he's gonna skate by, like that my man Din is gonna skate by, and then he's gonna have to go regulators and mount up and bring the squad together. Right. Because it's like, all right, we need a convoy to get this little dude to Tython safely. So he's gonna call in, Bo-Katan and her peoples. He'll probably get Ahsoka to come back and holler at him and do that. And they all show up on Tython. And I think episode 8 is when we get that real Moff Gideon and his fleet versus like this ragtag group of people that are trying to, do the whole Baby Yoda thing. And I think that's gonna be the climax, is them sitting Baby Yoda on that seat, him casting out through the Force, and that's gonna be where we figure out, or we find out what's really good. But the whole thing with Gideon, I think, and this is the thing, I don't think they're gonna beat Gideon. Like I'm not saying that they're gonna destroy Gideon and Gideon's gonna be done with or whatever, but something's gonna happen and Gideon's gonna have to like abort mission. Like I don't know if that's gonna be Thrawn like radioing and saying, nah, we got to deal with something else, or let them have this moment, or blah 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 blah. Thrawn going tactical, full on or something like that. Or it might even be that Thrawn isn't back yet, and that maybe they're waiting for some kind of a beacon or a signal from him from when they need to show up to go get Thrawn from wherever he is. So,
well, I don't know, because he seems pretty bent on getting the child back so he can be able to resume whatever experiments that they're doing. That's one thing that's been ambiguated, is they're doing something they ain't supposed to be doing.
I agree,
and the child is a big thing about that.
No, I agree with that, but I
feel that's his own agenda.
Yeah,
I just feel like that's his own agenda on why he's chasing after the child. I don't think it's got anything to do with Thrawn, Palpatine. Well, maybe whoever charged him with doing this.
Right. Well, see,
he's trying to get this done.
That's why I think it was Thrawn, and that's why I think he will be willing to pull away from it. Is because the person who actually put him or commissioned him to do this is like, nah, we got to, change the plans. You know what I mean? I think this is kind of the way that it's gonna kind of play itself out. Is this was kind of Gideon's charge upon the destruction of Palpatine. It's like there were different little sects within the Empire that had their own little set of instructions on what they needed to do. And his part was having to do with this project with Grogu and cloning or whatever. But I think that Thrawn holds high enough rank that if he steps in and says, well, I'm next in command now that the Emperor's out of the way, like, I don't think Gideon's going to, like, push back on that. I think it'll be a point where it's like...
If it comes to that, no, I don't think he would either. But I don't know. I feel like that might be too much. You know what I'm saying? For right now, for the pace that they've been going on, and especially with Thrawn being more of a name drop at this point. He has no real tangibility in anything yet. And of course they have to give him that, but I don't know. I feel like you do, like, yes, something's going to happen. He's going to have to mount up. And he's going to have to handle that. I said that. I just think when it comes down to the end of it, like you're on, if you were to flip it, it's like what we're doing right now. It's like you flip what I said, that's going to happen, mount up, or it could end with, like I said, it's going to happen now. We get that little bit of a climax in 7, and then in 8 we can actually end it on at least a decent note. So I mean, but the way it is right now, because we're so in the middle on the whole everything, it really can't go either way.
Either way. And shout out to Vito with the $2 Super 2A, man. Real talk, we love you right back, man. Even though you be cheating on Tekken, I'ma still let you have it. Yeah, the further we get away from that match, Vito, the more confidence I'm starting to get back to start firing back at some of this stuff you've been talking, man. You've been talking a lot. You've been doing a lot of this. I'm on my Jake Paul right now. Man, you don't mess around with me. I ain't no Nate.
He's on his Jake Paul.
I'm on my Jake Paul tonight.
So now we know what Jake's from State Farm, what his last name really is.
Right, exactly.
It's Paul.
No khaki pants, player.
When the khaki pants come off.
Oh man, it's bad business. Bad business. Wrong. Right. That's the Nate's whole day it was bad. But man, like all I would say is this, like when it comes like this next episode, man, I really don't have any expectation for it to be better than the last episode, because it's like, how do you follow that up? Like the only way that this episode could match that level of attention and pop is if they drop Boba tonight. Like if they bring Boba into the picture tonight, then all bets off. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a wrap.
Definitely,
it's a wrap at that point.
And I've been low key. I ain't said nothing. Maybe I should speak it. So speak it into existence. But I've been low key holding out hope that Boba can come in and tipsy topsy turvy the game all the way through.
Yeah, he and
that's what I'm holding
that, and he could be the game changer, because that's the one thing about this is like we know like Ahsoka, Boba, we've heard. I think Sabine is in there, Bo-Katan. All of these characters are going to have their own spinoff. So you've got to give people a reason to want to go watch. Now, I think in that, and this could be me just being biased, but I think you got that in the last episode for Ahsoka. That was enough for you to want to go see more of her. Like if somebody tells a normie that they're doing an Ahsoka show, I think normies would want to check that out. Just based off of what they saw.
Check it out.
What they saw.
Being a normie.
I feel you. But you're not a normie, man. Like you don't know.
I don't know. I do need a new designation.
Yeah, you're like a.
I know
you're a
some
swarmy. That's what you are. You're a swarmy. You're not a sweaty.
Yeah, I'm not quite
You're
sweaty.
Not a sweaty.
Right?
You're a swarmy. That's what you
are. Cause I was gonna say if Boba shows up and that's a good WTF moment, I would be like, it would be dope to see the Mandalorian fight Boba Fett while Moff Gideon fights the Jedi.
Yes,
which I would say would be dope if the Jedi still turns out to be Mace Windu or Karl Katan.
I feel you.
I'm a normie Avenger, right? Yeah, Park Outdoors.
I feel ain't nothing wrong with being a normie Avenger, man. We love it. We love all kind of Avengers over here. Every Avenger is our Avenger.
You know every Avenger.
Now
they're all Avengers.
They're all Avengers of some kind.
After
Darkians, yes. Now, on that note, let me shout out my man Kevin Freitas with the $9.99 Super Two-Way. Said he's a first-time viewer and you guys are killing it. Appreciate that, man. Says, what's y'all's hottest Mando take? Well, sir, since you are new, I will hit you with mine first. And that is that in my heart of hearts, I still feel like there is a very good possibility that we could get an evil Baby Yoda. And not just evil Baby Yoda, but I mean evil Baby Yoda to the point where we see him maybe 3-4 seasons down the line or in some other season or episode of some kind, even a movie maybe, where he's been off the scene for a minute and our heroes are in jeopardy and my man Grogu rolls up to save the day, except he force chokes the hell out of all the heroes and he's like, what's good, y'all? Like that. I want to see Grogu flip so hard. Like I want Grogu's heel turn to be better than like Hulk Hogan's heel turn when he went NWO. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I want people burning like Baby Yoda stuff in the streets. Like that's the way I would just
you just want him to be complete.
I want people to be sick. I want Baby Yoda to come in here.
You're evil.
Matter of fact, I want Baby Yoda in the scene. The first person that like he force chokes is some random extra named Kathy. Just totally meta. Just like he just walk out.
Oh my God! He killed Kathy. You bastard!
Like,
come on, guys. We gotta go kill
We gotta go get his ass, man.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Guys, we gotta show some concern.
Grogu's voice in my mind when I think Grogu talks, he sounds like Cartman.
We're not gonna be killing any Jedi today, okay?
Yeah, that's bad, okay? No killing of the Jedis, okay?
But yeah, man.
You can lick my balls, Miss Gaston.
Without due respect.
Without due respect, Miss
Gaston. Keaton Hawes with the $5 Super Two-Way say dope Vengers, in my opinion, is a good name for the broke Vengers. I feel that.
I like that, but that could be spent in so many different ways.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Somebody gonna come
the older we get.
Is this after dark where the dope Vengers is at, man?
Right.
Where the dope Vengers? You got that stuff?
Where I get that subscription?
Where that like button at? Matter of fact,
can we get just a few more likes? I see we doing like we didn't hit a record tonight. I ain't lying, but you know it'd be nice to get just a few more of those in there if you don't mind. You know we got to give our opinions.
We're passing the like collection plate around. Just donate what you can.
It's a Mandalorian helmet, just upside down. You just put your change in the helmet.
Upside down.
Pass it to your friend to your right. Say neighbor.
Tell other friends in the congregation about After Dark.
I want you to look at your friend to the right and say, neighbor.
Neighbor.
Are you ready for Mandalorian?
I am.
There you go. Amen, amen, amen.
And it works even better if you say Nerd Venger instead of neighbor.
There you go. Nerd Venger. You're right. It does work better.
See?
I like it already.
It's got a ring to it.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
He said Keaton Hawes come back again with the $5. Said I'm down for Darth Grogu force choking Kathy. Right, Kathy.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
And you know what's gonna happen when that happens, though? She's not gonna die. She'll get up and ask for the manager.
That's it. She's definitely. She want, and not the regular. She want the district manager.
The district
and his cell phone number.
She with the whole Imperial manager.
And she's going to pull out her cell phone and start live streaming it while it's going on.
Exactly. You'll find out she's actually Darth Karen.
Darth Karen.
This force is strong in this one.
With this one. Yeah, man. Lord Vito with the $2 super two-way say F Kathleen Kennedy. See, man, I wasn't even gonna go there. I wasn't even gonna go there. But you know, that's the crazy thing, man. This is what I gotta think. I have to actually thank Grogu and the Mandalorian because they have helped me get over my Kathleen Kennedy hate. I no longer hate her because whether you love or hate Kathleen Kennedy, she is still at this very moment the president of Disney Lucasfilm, which means she had to give an okay on Favreau and Filoni doing what they've done with this show. So look, not every one of them is going to be a dub. She has some pretty stanky L's, but this Mando almost covers up that stink. Almost. Keyword almost.
Oh yeah, almost. It's just like the beginning of Febreze.
Yeah, almost.
Very beginning. We still spraying though. We still spraying. It ain't done yet.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, if that's the case, then the sequel trilogy is like that morning after like chili night where all the homies was over, and y'all went through like a 24-pack of like Corona, and it was like you like to then
yeah.
See, you did this because now I'm all the way there because now I'm just wilding. No,
see? I didn't do nothing. I just told you to join the dark side.
Oh,
join
man.
the dark side.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. I think it's about time for us to get into this conversation of libation, though.
Yeah,
it's about that time.
To say so.
We got some super two ways, man. Handle some of them two ways for us, please.
Two ways. First off, I want to say to the moderator,
shout out.
You're doing a good job.
Shout out
for one. But let's see you drop that link in there for some of these people who wants to get off of being dope Vengers, broke Vengers, frugal Vengers, and they want to become nerd Vengers. We looking for that link, man.
Yeah.
We looking at you, the moderator.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get that link in there. And let me handle some of these 2 for 2 super twos. We got Baby Yoda's escape pod with the $4.99. He said, do you think the Dark Troopers could be made of Beskar?
Ooh, oh.
That is a good question.
That is a damn good question.
Yeah. And you know what? And you know what? You know what? Actually, I have a take for that because speaking of OGs, like I mentioned earlier, in the Dark Forces and with Kyle Katarn, excuse me. He actually thwarts the original plan that they came up with to create Dark Troopers out of Beskar. So I would not be surprised if they kind of resurrect that storyline because it's something he stumbled on. He didn't really mean to do it, but he's already against the Imperials anyway. So yeah, I would not be surprised if some of the Dark Troopers or if the Dark Troopers are just made out of Beskar. That would be good. What do you think, Al?
Well, Lavis, I think that if they are made of Beskar, then we are in for some sugar honey iced tea because you want to make them potentially or maybe even force sensitive and they got Beskar. That's not fair. That's not fair. When you do that, that's unfair. But I hadn't even thought about that as a possibility. And like my mind right now is just like we out here in the middle of space and I'm still like I can't. There's not enough room for this kind of. Yeah, that could be some crazy-ish.
Yeah, that would be. I appreciate you, Luke Skywalker. Said that the Batman ring is epic. I got 2 of them.
Nice. My man,
I can't put it too close because the light.
Oh, it'll blind you, man.
Yeah.
Turn them rings down, boy. You blinded me.
And then we got Darth Navalis with the $2. He said, guys, you didn't read 2 of my supers. And Al, I don't know if you can go back and pull them up. I kind of did see them come in. However, I did warn you guys, when Al was geeking out, he was going to geek out for a little minute there. I tried to keep him up for as long as I could.
Yeah, we missed it, man. And see,
so I do apologize.
The truth is, we getting to the point, man, where some of these we just it's so many and they come in so fast that like we try to catch them all, but if we miss you, we so sorry. We're gonna start asking at the beginning the whole all Super 2 ways until conversation and libation, because I surely do hate to miss those.
I do hate to miss those.
I really do hate to miss those.
But they really do be some good ones.
Yeah, y'all be killing it, man. Y'all be killing it. Love it. Love it.
Most love y'all. Then we got the OG fan coming through with the $2. It's at Lord Vito, not even, with a 10-foot Beskar spear. I have no idea what Lord Vito said, but I'm pretty sure it was on some Screw Boba Fett type stuff. So you probably deserve that, Vito.
Oh man. See, and this is again why I love our community, because one of our frugal Avengers reaches out, my man Do-Rag Do-Mask. Welcome. That's the first time I've seen my homie in there, but we know he with it because he said that was a Hot Boys reference. LOL. I love it. Al, you a fool, man. That's every day, man. I'm trying to tell you. We got so much swag you can skate on it out here. It's like
I tell you, we leave y'all little breadcrumbs
we drop breadcrumbs every week. We do it. Hot Boys, don't matter what it is, man. We be all over the map. Look, and now we got another one to add to the book, and we got to do this one right here. Luke Skywalker, well, actually it was Mark Hamilton first said, "Can I get a hallelujah?"
I like that. Hallelujah.
From now on, when I mic drop y'all, I'm gonna be like, I need an hallelujah in this house of nerds.
Yes. Well, we can't miss the man.
Oh no.
Main Dandrix with the $2.99. Said 300 plus live. Bravo. Proud to be an After Darkian. We are proud to have all you After Darkians here, especially
I like
you.
that. After Darkians. Yes. I like that. I like that.
After Darkians. Most definitely.
Shout out to
I'm gonna see some of y'all After Darkians in the morning show too.
Oh yeah, don't forget morning streams every Monday through Friday. My man Josh at like bright and early for us, because we don't really get up that unless we grinding every week.
Yeah.
And then we got After Dark every Thursday night and afternoon every Saturday. Around what? It's 2 o'clock.
We usually go on about 3. It's usually 2 for you, 3 for me.
Yeah, man.
However it goes, I always get more.
We be on that VPT, that Venger people time. That's what we be on. We come in, we get on time is when we show up and start going live.
Right, as possible.
Yeah,
right.
we try to. Yeah, but usually about 2 in Central Time on Saturdays. We try to get it popping. Then we got Irish American.
Yes.
You're a Nerd Venger now.
Nerd Venger.
Yeah, I'm saying.
After Darkian now.
Yes, you are a Nerd Venger and an After Darkian. All at once.
Yes. All at once.
All at once. Just bathe in it, bask in it, enjoy it. It is beautiful. It is beautiful.
I have to give that credit to the joinage to Ryan, the nice guy Ryan, because I don't know. I asked the moderator to do it. He's a little bit of an asshole. Excuse me, I'm not supposed to say that.
Yeah, look, the moderator's gonna get you, man. The moderator's gonna get you.
Gonna pull me up out of my character.
Yeah, man.
I'm not trying to get pulled up out my character. And I see Fan Gesture. You be popping up in here.
Yeah, what's up, Adam?
What you said earlier, Fan Gesture. Adam, talk about we so old that we make Mike Porter look like infants. I didn't forget that.
Say what?
Yeah, he said that about a good 55 minutes and 25 seconds ago.
I know the man that got 2 tens on his head for headphones ain't trying to call somebody old. I know you just didn't, Mr. Adam. Got them 10-inch subwoofer headphones on. Like, I can hear what's going on Tython right now. Looking at. I love you, Adam, though. You know it's all love, man. Oh, man.
Oh, my goodness. I forgot about them headphones.
Man, how could you?
You know what? Like, and it sucks, but I've been kind of missing some of it, some of his shows, man, because I've been working out here Nerd Venger in these streets with these other Nerd Vengers working on them changes.
Working on the changes for you? Yeah, got a couple Nerd Vengers working on them changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But everybody, make sure that you check out Adam and Fanjextra, man, and get on that debate 8. His show is fun. It is completely fun, especially when everybody accuses him of rigging it. And it's like, you know, he's like, I didn't ring it. But he's totally the Hank Pym of the group.
Oh yeah,
he's completely the Hank Pym of the group,
without question.
So,
without question.
Yeah, you make sure you go check.
He's
out
the homie, man. So yeah, check Fanjextra out, man. I give you crap, man, but you the homie, man. Like for real.
Most definitely.
I'm saying though, them headphones wasn't Beats though. Them was Rudabakers. Like,
can I trouble anybody for like just 3 more? Like we're at 297.
Ooh, can we get 3 more?
3 more likes. I don't care if you give us 5 more dislikes.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
Because those are good too. Like I don't care.
Likes, dislikes.
Actually, we're actually a dislike short. Because Josh has about 6 somehow. Okay, and this is back when we was watching, and maybe he had like 100 or so people. 6 people would always dislike
the same 6 people. I bet you I could name 2 of them.
So I probably could too. So I say we're a little low on that quota.
Sprinkle a little dust out for them.
Thank you for that.
But yeah, man. Oh man, did we miss another Mike Porter, man? Like, are we?
Oh man, really?
We slacking like that tonight?
I seen it. We didn't miss it. It's not that far.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. He says $4.99 from Mike Mother Flippin' Porter. Thanks for getting us ready for Mando. I'm a little sleepy, but thanks guys for what you do. Hey man, you know what? You still got a little time. I know how it is being a boom millennial, so it must be a little more difficult for the boomers. I understand.
Yeah, man.
Power nap. We'll see you around 2:50 or so. Because even my man Al he be having to text me, and I'd be awake. I sometimes just don't see it.
I'm trying to tell you, man. And then I'm at the crib like chilling, and I'm like, you know, I'm a boom millennial myself, so I'm here trying to do everything that I can between the time we go off the air and the time Mando start to stay awake. I'm like, let me go in here and see if I need to peel any potatoes for Let me clean this sink out.
It'll be easy for me. I'll be out there nerd-venging in them streets.
You'll be nerd-venging in them streets,
my
man.
Tablets and everything. So I'll be up in there.
That's what's up. Man. But yeah. So again, apologies to all of the Super 2 ways that we missed.
Yes.
You know, we working on that. We're going to try to be a little more attentive and catch those, but we might need to start holding those to the end.
Right. I was saying, so if you see us on a roll, you might want to wait.
Yeah, you just might want to, because we don't need you in here beating our asses because we forgot your 2-way. We ain't trying to in here looking like we just got knocked the hell out. You know, like some people. You know what? I think it's time. I think we just need to go on because I know it's some people. I think everybody kind of know, but I think it's some people that might have been sitting here since we went live and like, why they keep talking about people getting beat up? Look, man. I gotta paint this picture for y'all real quick, and we saved this for conversation and libation because this is we going and we having to go off the grid a little bit for this, but
that's why we be in space.
I'm gonna hit y'all with a little bit of this is like a public service announcement from your friends here at After Dark. Now, we always believe in you reaching for the stars. You know, if you have a dream, you fight for that dream. You train for that dream. You work for that dream. You know, if one of the biggest things that Josh has taught me in the few years that I've been working with my guy is that if there is something that you want, if you work hard enough, you cannot be denied. If you put your full conviction into something, you train yourself, you discipline yourself, you hold yourself accountable. The Nates. You cannot get hit by the Nates. You won't have a case of the Nates if you prepare yourself. Now, you might ask, what are the Nates? Well, you see, the Nates is what happens when you try to take shortcuts. When you think that because you did a little work in a related field that you're going to be able to jump into somebody else's lane and out sprint them. it don't work like that though. Like it does not work that way. Like you cannot just go into another man's backyard and say, you know what, I'm about to cook all the meat. I'm about to go in and take all the food out your fridge. Cause you might end up waking up the next day trying to figure out what happened. And that's what happened to a certain somebody last Saturday night. Now, everybody, I'm going to have to paint this picture for everybody. And welcome Alex G to the Nerd Vengeance. Yes. You are just in time. Yes. Now, entertainment has been scarce in 2020 to say the least. We have not had much. It's starting to pick up now. But every weekend I find myself kind of trying to find something to kind of take my mind away from the reality of Nerd Vengeance and all of this good stuff. I love it, but every now and then you need a break. And I'm a sports fan. So, I'm a sports fan from like, I'm a boom millennial. So I grew up, with Mike Tyson and Roy Jones. So when somebody told me that 54-year-old Mike Tyson and I think 51-year-old Roy Jones was going to lace him up and box, I was here for it. I was like, you know what? I do that. And it's what, $50? I'm down. I drop 50 to see this fight. I mean, I'm here to be entertained. Now, what I did not expect, because I missed most of the undercard, but as fate would have it, I actually literally turned it on right as the co-main event was starting. And was kind of surprised when I saw who was in this co-main event. And that was one Nate Robinson, former NBA star, former superstar athlete, very gifted as an athlete. I think the man played football at one point. He excelled in basketball. He's a slam dunk champion. I mean, and this is, a little dude. I think Nate is probably somewhere just under 6 feet, perhaps, maybe a little bit shorter than that, even maybe like 5'9". He's on that Peter, Pennsylvania level. Well, maybe he's somewhere around in there. I can't relate. But
somewhere in there, though.
But Nate, and I don't know the history, so I don't know all. I don't know all the details, but somehow Nate had an entanglement with one Jake Paul. Now, I did not know who Jake Paul was until that night. And what we were treated to was a night where keeping it real went horribly wrong for one Nate Robinson. And he decided to get into the ring and box with Jake Paul. Now, you might be wondering, if you don't know who Jake Paul is, I believe he's a social media figure, content creator, YouTuber.
On YouTube. I think he was a dude that went through a mall while there was rioting or something like that. And people were like, why are you covering that? I think that's that dude.
Yeah, something like that. I think he's got a brother also, that does YouTubes and things of that sort. But he's basically, another one of these social media personalities, what have you. So somebody decided, let's put it now. The one thing, and I have to make sure that I stress this. Jake Paul is also a trained semi-professional boxer. Like this man has trained for at least a year and has actually had, I think, one professional fight under his belt. So he is a rookie in that realm, but he is somebody who knows his stuff. Now, if you're going to play a one-on-one game of basketball with Nate Robinson, just for an example, you might want to at least have like some NBA D-League level experience. You don't want to be like, oh, well, I was the captain of like our 8th grade A-team basketball squad and I averaged 8 points a game back in the 8th grade and think that you're going to get on the court and beat Nate Robinson in basketball. You know what I'm saying? That's just not going to happen.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
Conversely, you cannot be Nate Robinson and think that you're going to get in a ring with a trained boxer and fare very well. And fare very well is something that my man did not. Now, I'm going to set this up because we're not going to sit here and watch this whole thing. But let me just paint a beautiful picture for y'all. You've got Nate Robinson, you've got Jake Paul, and you've got Snoop Dogg as the color commentator. Yes, that's right. That's Snoop. That's Snoop. And exactly what you are imagining in your head is exactly how this went down. So where we're going to pick this up is this fight is in the second round. And Nate has already been knocked down at least once. He is not faring well at all. He has been like holding, and again, this is a boxing match. This is not MMA. Looked like he was trying to tackle my man Jake the whole time. So we are at the point of the fight where I believe Nate has realized this is not gonna happen. And we went back and forth on this, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to show if we was gonna go here, but Wallace, hit us with that shrinkage again, sir, because we got to show this to the people. I want you to pay attention to a couple of items here. Number one, pay attention to Nate Robinson's facial expressions, because Nate is going to tell you with his face exactly how he feels about taking this fight. And then I'd also like you to lend your ears to one Snoop Doggy Dogg as he commentates this. We just gonna run it real quick, and then we're gonna get up out of here. But we just want to hit y'all. We're gonna hit y'all with this. Here we go.
A feint from Jake.
Now, wait. We're gonna go back. We're gonna go back just a little bit, 'cause you gotta understand what just happened. Nate Robinson just got the living hell knocked out of him, and again, just listen to Snoop.
Oh, there's a feint from Jake.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, my goodness.
Now, Snoop begins singing Precious Lord, which is a Negro spiritual. Now, look at Nate Robinson's face. Look at Nate Robinson's face. Nate Robinson looked defeated. Like, he looks like, I don't want to get up, but I have no choice. Because I cannot go out like that. But he know what's going to happen. Look at. Now, how sad is this? You got Snoop singing a gospel song. You got Nate look at the way he's looking over at Jake Paul. Like, ain't nobody tell me you hit like that.
Right. Mm-mm.
So, like, Nate is really trying to figure this out, and he know that it's like it's coming. It's coming.
He sees it. He's trying to talk himself into it.
He know it. Oh, you know what? You can't even see. Hold on. We gonna take that back, because you couldn't even see Nate.
Nope.
Look at this man. Look at him. Where he at? He over here somewhere behind me. Look at this. This man is asleep, y'all. He is asleep.
Oh my goodness.
Snoop said, "Oh Lord," like he just.
So, it'll be okay, babe. Oh my goodness. Somebody get that referee a record deal.
Like, I'm a quit right there. I just had to share that though, because like, people, if After Dark don't teach you anything else, please stay in your lane.
Yep.
Know your limits. Nobody's telling you to aspire for more, to try for more, but like, don't try to skip to level 10 if you barely got through level 1.
I'm trying to tell you.
Don't do that to yourself.
Don't do that.
This man, embarrassed is not even a word. Like, you felt bad for Nate Robinson.
I didn't.
I felt bad for that man, because that man has to face himself, his children, his significant other. He's got to walk the streets. Like, if I were to see Nate Robinson in real life, I would probably just lay down face first on the ground and be like, Nate!
Hey, he knew the job before he took it.
Man, like somebody, I would have woke up that next morning, and I said this immediately after watching that. I'd have fired everybody in my corner. I'm firing the trainer. I'm firing everybody. I'm firing my manager. I'm firing my hairdresser. I'm firing my gardener. I'm the nanny getting fired. Somebody should have like stepped in and been like, "Nah, you might not want to do this, Nate. You might not want to do this, Nate. Like, you can't allow." No. And to bring it home, that, my friends, is what it felt like watching the sequel trilogy.
Yep.
That's what it felt like. The moment my man Luke took that blue titty milk, I felt like Nate standing in the corner like, I know this finna end bad, but I can't. I gotta see it through to the end. I gotta see it through.
Yeah, gotta see it through.
It's like that. And props to Nate.
I got
props to Nate for actually getting up and continuing that fight, because as a man, I don't know if I would have got back up. Like, I'm the first time I failed, I don't know if I'm getting back up. I'm like, no, wait, hold on, time out. Y'all didn't tell me he was hitting for real. This is supposed to be an exhibition.
Right.
An exhibition. Somebody should have been in his corner like, throw the damn towel. Like,
right.
It should have been over.
If he was smart, he should have did like my man did in that Tyson fight and clinched up the entire time.
But
go a few
you know
times.
the difference? You know the difference? Roy Jones is a professional boxer.
I'm about to say experience.
Roy Jones got some experience. Roy Jones know when somebody hits you and it hurt, it's like, nah, we got to wrap up now because I'm not trying to take no more of them shots.
Right.
Nate Robinson wanted to wrap up and just didn't know how. Like, he just did not know how.
Maybe my face will work.
And yes, Fan Jackson, you know that with me, it always comes back to trash in the sequel trilogy. You had to know this, man. You had to know. Keaton Hawes with the $5 Super 2-way said Chappelle's show with keeping it real goes wrong. It was at this moment that Nate Robinson realized he was in trouble.
Yes, he was. That's like water in my cereal type water.
I'm trying to man, look, I'm just saying, man. Like, that was when he knew. That was when he knew.
Make sure you get Al's new cereal, Goof Troops. you use water instead of milk.
Hey, I ain't never put no water in no cereal, bro. Like, I grew up broke and poor, but we ain't never put no water. Like, we might have mixed some 2% or something in there, like, but no, never no water.
You don't know broke till you have ketchup spaghetti.
Oh man, what you talking about? What you know about a syrup sandwich?
Oh, I know all about syrup sandwich.
What
you know about syrup sandwich, when you add some sugar onto it.
Oh, see, look, you trying to syrup and sugar sandwiches, man? You ain't talking about it, man.
That's syrup sandwiches.
What you know? Syrup.
Right.
What you know about rationing out the Kool-Aid packet and making it by the cup instead of the pitcher?
I've done that.
Yeah, that's some science for your ass, because it's like, now it's a whole pack of Kool-Aid make 2 quarts. How many grams of this can I use for my? What is this? Roughly
that's the type of stuff you did that made the Cream of Wheat man proud.
Yeah, man.
That's the real whipping in the kitchen right there.
I'm trying to tell you, man. Lord Vito, shout out. You know about that goulash, man. Look, people act like I don't know about no goulash.
Right.
Man. Fan Jackson said, syrup and sugar sandwich sounds like something the moderator would serve in the Nervenges Tower cafeteria. I've been trying to get syrup sandwiches on the menu in the Nervenges cafeteria since we built it.
I'm about to say the moderator's the one keeping it off
the
menu.
That's what I'm saying. The moderator got us eating like keto burgers and stuff. Like, I can't even get like soda with calories in it. Like, I'm like, I feel you. I appreciate you trying to look out for my health and well-being, but sometimes I just want to be fat. And you don't let me, and the moderator will not allow it. He won't allow it.
Sandwich strong, okay?
Syrup sandwich strong. I'm trying to tell you, man.
See, that would just truly know that Adam just don't know about that life.
He ain't never had spam fajitas. You ain't never had them spam fajitas, man, where you ain't know about that. You don't know nothing about that. Yeah, my man Dr. Window say, what's this sometime shit? Man, look, they not ready for me to go all the way there, Window. They don't want me to really open up blow the doors wide open on them. Look, I started giving them ghetto recipes. Look, we'll be here till Mandalorian go. Come on. Playing with me. Playing with me.
Nah, man.
Like, gather around, kids. Let me tell you 87 different ways to make ramen.
Hey, this is random as hell, but just as you were talking about some ramen.
What's up?
You ever had, like, I don't know what it is, but you ever had like a good juicy steak with a side of ramen?
No, because I don't eat ramen.
Hey, I'm trying to tell you, it will change your perspective. For some reason, putting that high class meat next to that very affordable noodles.
I like the way you put that. I like the way you put that. Very affordable.
Very affordable noodles.
Oh,
for some reason, it tastes.
Oh,
it tastes divine.
ramen
Sorry.
noodles for the frugal chef.
Shoot,
Look, I've told this story. I think I might have told you this before, but I had a best friend. Rest in peace to my homie Maurice, man. But he would do this thing where he would take ramen. He'd make ramen. He wouldn't use the sauce packet. He'd use ketchup and cut up hot dogs and make ghetto spaghetti, and then put a slice of sandwich cheese over the top of it. Yeah, man. Yeah, and I would be like, nah, bro. Like, I cannot do that.
Show everybody.
I cannot do that. Yeah, man. Like, look.
No, what are you talking about,
bro? I cannot tell a lie. This man would walk outside. We stay across the street from each other, and he'd come outside like at least once a week with this bowl, and I'm just like, nah, bro. Like, I'm cool. I will stick with this peanut butter and jelly sandwich and be all right.
Adam, just watch and blend in, okay?
There you go.
You don't think I sound weird, but you gonna look around you and be like, hold up.
It's a lot of people around.
All sorts of people just observe.
I'm trying to tell you, man. I'm trying to tell you.
You gonna learn today.
Oh man, you gonna learn. Look, I tell you, hang around with After Dark long enough, boy, you start getting the whole game. The whole game.
You gonna come back next week like, yo, I tried that.
I tried it low key.
That was good.
Look, somebody gonna be in here asking for a ramen noodles emoji in a minute. Like, hey, moderator, you heard it here first. We need that ramen emoji.
Ramen. I better get a Sistiva emoji first.
Oh man, look, we need them both, man. I got Window again. He said he craving hot dogs and eggs, man. Do it. Do it. Oh, I don't like eggs, but you know.
Y'all are killing me.
Oh, look, there we go. The After Dark cookbook.
After Dark
there
cookbook,
it is.
Yeah.
Nothing but Nervenger recipes for the frugal and fancy alike.
Yep. Yep. Exactly.
Look, somebody already hitting us with a ramen bowl. Look.
Look at that. We don't even need it. Jonathan
Velasquez. We good. Bro, hot dogs and baked beans, I fools with that. Hot dog and the bean. Where I came from, we call them beanie weenies.
Really?
That was it. It was like, I want a bowl of them beanie weenies.
At least you had a name for it.
I wouldn't call it that as an adult if I planned on eating it though. I'd be like, nah, let me just get some cut up hot dogs and my baked beans, please. Like, you gotta do it all bougie now.
Bougie beans.
Let me get a bowl of those bougie beans.
My beans are bad and bougie.
My beans is bad and bougie.
Bad and bougie. Cooking them up with
the bougie. Look, I'm trying to tell you, man. We can sit here and do this all the way up until Mando. All the way up until Mando, man.
Right. But unfortunately, I gotta go revenge in these streets. And some of y'all, I know y'all want to at least charge up a little bit and get your little nap in for you to catch that Mando. You know, some of y'all gotta work in the morning and stuff. So you already know, like we always say,
you ain't got to go home. But you got to get the hell up out of here.
Yeah. So
this was a good one, man.
It was a good one.
This is beautiful. I like this, man.
I had a lot of fun.
I like this. So y'all be cool.
Yep.
Don't get Nate Robinson. Let's get ready for this episode 6 tonight.
Yep.
Go Tython, go Mando.
Yep.
And we gonna see you in the next episode. Hey.
Man, I didn't know we was actually gonna get to see the little Nate.
Oh man, look, I had to get that out. I had to get that out there, man. I had to turn that into a lesson for the people.
Right. Gotta show them what it do,
baby. I tell you, I love the fact that like our peoples is catching the jokes now, man.
Yes.
We got them catching the jokes and the references, man.
Yes, man. We need to turn it up. We need to turn it every time they catch it.
That's what that means now. It's time to crank it up.
Mm-hmm.
Hey. What you got?
We off screen, right? Okay, so yeah, come to the back of the ship.
Yeah, I'm in the back. What's up? What we got?
Okay. We need to know about this secret compartment back here, man.
Oh, hey. Now we finna get it rolling.
I tell you,
and look,
man.
and I thought I left all the spice at home, bro. Like, I was so mad.
Man, look, me, man. I gotta make sure I bring spice in the purple drink.
Man, but I'm telling you, I swung by crate and was hollering at this dude called Silver Fox. That man gave me some spice, bro. Like, let me tell you, I thought I was Luke on Octo, projecting myself.
You just found out you was just lukewarm.
That's it. I was just lukewarm, literally.
It's horrible.
I wasn't even lukewarm because I was sweating like I was on the show, man. I was out of there. I was like,
hey,
I didn't know where I was.
I know, and this is some good show notes too.
Yeah, it was.
Especially read that. Why don't you read that last? You got the show notes up for you?
I do. I do. What?
Why don't you read that? Read that last line, the very, very, very last line.
Did a player make a mistake? Did a player make a mistake?
No, I think it's perfect. I think it's one of the best.
Oh yeah, the best. Yeah, man. Because I was like, something.